Yo, yo, yo.
It's a pleasure to
Long,
be
st-
here
long
for
style Ziggy
Karina's
Zensei.
custom. Oh shit! I mean, you could
Oh,
go.
got it. All right. Long style Ziggy Zensei with Shifu here at Karina Custom Arena, Tekken 7's debut tournament. How you guys doing?
Doing absolutely fantastic here this evening, Zensei. I'm always up to watch some juicy Tekken 8 entertainment, especially at this level with these weekly brackets. How absolutely insane a lot of these matches will inevitably turn out to be. This top eight, I'm taking a look at the bracket right now. There's some names that I recognize, and I feel like this is gonna, just taking a look at these names already, shape up to be a pretty nice top eight.
Got Trizzy the rapper, the Yoshi extraordinaire from America, always representing both online and offline. So we already know what to
Right.
expect here. Sense Sonic, another name that I see quite often in these higher level areas. Looks like they're going to be also representing in the top eight, and then Tanjiro the Ripper. All right, we got those names right there: Trizzy the Rapper, Tanjiro the Ripper.
Might be ripping off Trizzy's flow there, something of the sort. I know that
That's
Sense Sonic is a name that I do recognize, but I'm not exact. I haven't seen them play too often. I know that there's a couple names up here that I recognize as well. Trizzy, of course, that is NA's best kept Yoshi. Shadow King Lucci is a player that I've seen before, and Leapfrog and Coin Wolf are two of the other names that I notice up here in this bracket.
indeed. Some Paul representation with Leapfrog, should he prevail and make it through to the top eight. But it looks like we're going to be starting off with Sansonic and
Oh,
Tanjiro.
okay.
So we'll get very well acquainted for those who aren't with both of these players in just a bit.
If we're not up to speed just yet, then we will be here in a second, very, very soon. And figuring if Tanjiro's gonna rip off the name of Tristan the Rapper, then perhaps he might also be a Yoshi player or something similar.
You would have
I
to
know that the
imagine
top fives are
there's some sort of ninja stuff going on here.
an influence somewhere, right?
And then Sense Sonic, that name is ringing. What's it called? Uh, Either Claudio or
That's
Lars.
the one that I'm familiar with.
That's what
Yeah,
that's
I
that's
just
where
can't
I'm.
exactly put my finger on it.
That's where my head's going.
See some Claudio tonight would be a treat.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Super strong.
The character who, you're right, forced to kind of address a lot of his safe, his pressure options. The way that he kind of gets in your face with the while running one. It's one thing that you can't exactly get around. Of course, you can step it, but that's when that back one mind game comes into play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. He's a character that is kind of emblematic of the pilot, right? Whatever offense you represent, like the style that you represent, is like showcased through that character, and same likewise with the defense. You know, he's not got a whole ton of moves to choose from. So you know what you're gonna see a running two here. You're gonna see a back one. You're gonna see a couple of those lows, uh, and that's it. Essentially, there's not too many surprises
And
with
that's
that.
what
And
you
so
get.
when your opponent, it's up to your opponent to figure out basically the puzzle that is you as a player. Like, what kind of offense do you do? What kind of defense do you do? And can you crack that at all? Despite all the
Yeah,
kind of
and I mean that's kind of the vice and virtue of the top tiers, right? They're extremely familiar in terms of move sets, right? Everybody recognizes what they need to be looking for. What they don't know is how the person sitting across, the screen from them is going to utilize those tools. There's always going to be a new mix up that you haven't seen yet, or if you have seen it before, it's way too difficult to deal with to even have a real assessment of how to get that mix up off of you, right? And
Hmm.
of course, like we talk about, your basic Tekken 101 to sidestep the Mishimas and to duck all the highs. Well, Claudio is not having any of that basic Tekken stuff here because, like I said just a second ago, the back one mind game is going to be working wonders for this man.
Hmm. I think that's one of the things that, like, Claudio makes you commit one way or the other, right? If you don't ever duck the running two, you're in for a bad time. If you don't ever try and make a read on some of his small lows, you're not gonna have a good time. If you're always sidestepping, getting clipped by back one, same deal. You have
Right.
to basically, like, Claudio's gonna make you make plays because he's making plays. Um, the hop kick is a big call out. It's a really good move to make big call outs with due to its like evasiveness and good range, but it's still a hop kick all the same. If he clips you as a whiff punish or as a low call out, that's just Tekken. Um, Running two, super plus, big damage on hit. He's gonna make you guess. He's gonna make you commit to ducking just like he's committing to that move. And so it's
Down three,
almost
giving you some
like
counter hit properties. You get a full sequence.
exactly. It high crushes, so it's also a reaction test and a timing test. Sent Sonic in the chat asking
Also,
why
also get
Trizzy's
some
in
while
four
standing mix
tournaments.
too.
Yes, yes. He does have a pesky crouch jab. He has a crouch jab string. That's pretty rare. Like one that is like instantly high crushing and pretty good. You'll probably be seeing that on any semi-safe strings and buttons from a Claudio player.
He's almost like a bear, but just none of the risk. If you don't do random arbitrary hop kick or if you're down three doesn't get crouch blocked, he's just a bear that has little to no risk.
Hmm.
Essentially,
Let's see. All right, Sansonic's on the setup. Now we just, yeah, we
instead
need
of here,
Tanj. We need
as we wait
Tandro
for
in
a
the building.
taunch. And as we wait for Tandro, it actually would be kind of funny if Sensonic is not a Claudio player
Not a.
because all this
I was
time we're
just
sitting here
thinking. I was just thinking that the whole time,
talking
bro. I
about.
was like, we're about this. We're like Lars will pop up on the screen or something. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, well Lars is a guy." We're
And
gonna have
that's
to
a whole
figure out
other
what.
can of worms that we could
Hmm.
open, right? But I think Lars has actually kind of fell out of the limelight in the midst of not only DLC characters making their way into the roster, but people are just starting to realize that like a lot of this game, in terms of how characters are able to abuse the mechanics, is still deep rooted in that original Yoshi Nina drag Fang top five. I mean that's
Ooh, I'm
top four,
glad.
but a
I'm
lot
glad
of people
you.
like
I'm
to put their
glad
own
you brought
five.
up. I'm glad you brought up Fang, bro. I feel like that character
Oh
stays.
my.
That character stays slipping under the radar for no reason.
Broadest character. Hey,
And
I
oh,
mean, he's never
it
gonna be
needs
B tier. He's never gonna be low A. We know
facts.
where he's sitting at.
We watched that character go from top 3 in Tekken 7 at the very end of its life to somehow ducking most people's like top 5 allegations. I'm like, brother, ain't much change from him between these games. If anything, he might have gotten better.
Is the way that he's up forward toing his way out of the top five conversation is just absolutely
Ooh,
disgusting. Like,
you're so right about
I mean,
that.
because it's a character like you can kind of identify some weaknesses with a lot of these really strong characters, right? I mean, Paul, right, is a strong
Mm,
character. The reason a lot of people don't complain about him too much is because he's kind of gimmicky in a lot of ways because with his down forward stance setups, of course, like if you opt for the full three string, you can duck the high, and if he does the mid, then he's minus 13, right?
Hmm.
And in terms of the heat engager, you know, you kind of have to be patient against him. He's hard committing a lot of these options,
Yeah.
and so if you point out some of the weaknesses in a lot of these stronger characters, then it's easy to justify their place in the tier list. But for somebody like Fang, I mean, we can't really
What weaknesses?
identify what that is
What
because
weaknesses he got, bro? Take it.
even his unsafe shit is just very difficult to deal with in the first place.
Hmm.
The fact that you're getting down back three from range, like you know, mid screen, just trying to
Hmm.
jab, and you're getting counter hit, so he gets that back turn setup, is just a bit. It's a little bit obnoxious, right?
Oh shoot.
So,
Oh, all right. Look at the
and here we
pink
go.
Yoshi
Touch. Is that the
custom, bro.
Yoshi? Yep.
Yo. All right. So we are at least right
That is
on
the
one account.
Yoshi.
Oh, and then the Claudio.
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go.
Oh,
The God
the
Claudio.
random, the random memory coming in clutch.
Here it is. Okay, so this is
Now that's
this
nothing
is
to
not a
say
matchup
about
that I
whether
see
they.
often, but
That's nothing to say about whether they might just pick something completely different either side. I think I saw Clive loaded up possibly.
yeah, I saw the TGS Clive. Definitely, definitely. I'm trying to think of the other one that's familiar with Divine Exorcist. That's another one.
Hmm.
Um,
Joe Budden.
crazy.
Yo, let me tell you about
I don't know
Joe
why you,
Budden.
you would willingly take on that name, but I mean, more power to you. More
Nah,
power.
that man has been gatekeeping a lot of my homies' personal God runs for some time now. And oh, and yep, there is the
There's no
Clive. I did see it.
drums.
So we're gonna get some sword v sword action right
Oh,
here.
sheesh. We're getting some Soul Calibur gameplay. Okay. This is going to be quite interesting here. We got the shadowy Yoshi custom going up against the customary Final Fantasy
Nice,
Clive default 3, I think that is. The back 1+2 to start off.
nice
Going to
counter
be going for
hit
the
on
Phoenix
the
1+2 to
sword.
no avail. Oh my goodness. There you go. Flash to keep that tailspin extension, taking him all the way to the wall, almost in totality, but not quite.
Who doesn't duck the grab from the helicopter stance, but still alive in a little bit. Trying to swing for the fences there. Nice block on the Manji kicks. Goes for the string. Last hit
Gonna do
scenario.
it again. Ooh. The one
The
plus
duck
two
is
still
just
safe.
trying,
Oh,
begging for the 1+2 to connect so you can get a heat engage or some of that health back. Not gonna do it. Nice interrupt. Nut. Good block on the down
oh,
one.
already reading that.
Ooh, didn't finish
Down
the
one
punish.
from Sonic. Oh, there we go.
All right, 1+2, nerf, but still effective if it hits. Going for the big string, plus frames.
Oh
Nice,
my.
got
Oh,
counter
there we
hit,
go.
the hell sweep, one more pixel. Sonic answering back very nicely and convincingly, one round apiece. Oh, tried to go for the
One round
overhead
apiece is
from
gonna be
deep.
opting for that. Yeah, I tried going for that side step two there. A mid that's +2, usually frequent setup for the down forward one into Phoenix mix. Although we're out of range there, so no opportunity. Going to do Phoenix 3 to try and catch a counter hit, perhaps. A little down 4, extremely unsafe low, and we get a counter hit on the snake edge. We are guaranteed getting this wall. Bow. Absolutely take the huge damage.
Oh, hits the
You got to guess on the
parry though,
throw.
and the side switch. All right, safe. Ooh, doesn't get the
Ooh,
punish on the orbital there. Activates heat.
a little arbitrary orbital. Oh, well, 1+1 does
Oh,
connect.
spins out and the whiff
Not gonna
punish to
dash
net
out?
him the round. I will say, Tanjiro is not actually moving all that much. Nice block on the hell sweep,
Oh
but
my.
is really opting to stay very stationary, like just single backdashes and just staying just out of range. Not really pressing a whole lot either. Kind of putting all the onus on Sense Sonic. Nice punish. All
Seems
right,
that
and
he's
there
not
it
really
is.
too impressed with his offense thus far.
Oh, the
I think
Torgal last
Sonic
hit.
may have to
Nice block. Oh, doesn't go for the punish though.
way to get way. out of that string with
Nice
those
block.
kicks. The down
Great
one.
break. The bad breath.
Consistently able to
Hold
close
the
out.
phone. This is a big damage. This could
Oh
start
boy. Oh no, he just has
the
to put away the
comeback.
sword.
Is
He
he
wants
gonna?
to go for it.
Oh no, he
Oh,
hits the back four
nice.
counter hit. Final round, just staving off the robbery from Tanjiro. Manji kicks.
I
Slide
forget
into
what
the
button that
DMs.
homing move is on Clive, but I know that it is a huge reward on counter hits.
Yeah, back
Safe
one.
button.
Oh, and speaking of counter hit launcher.
Ooh,
Hey,
here we
hey,
go.
hey.
Here we go. We're gonna be getting the flash. Yep, with the sword out,
Ooh, didn't actually connect
moving him
the
all the way
full
to the
string.
wall.
Stays on the ground. 1+2,
Oh,
no
but he's gonna
dice.
snap
Doesn't
the
block
wall.
right. He's
Was
gonna
supposed to
spin
connect.
out of there. Down for one. Strings. And goes for the low to close it out.
I a lot of mind games there from Tanj.
Yes. Very nice staggered offense. And safe as well. Didn't really leave a lot of openings to counterattack. And every
There we
time the
go.
Sensonic did counterattack,
Oh,
speaking of counters, as he gets the CD2 there. Or is that
a
CD1?
round start corkscrew. Holy crap.
With this
And
wall
now here we
pressure that
go.
he's
We're
been
heat
doing.
smash.
Nice.
We're at the wall.
A little too much
He's gonna
delay
let
from
them
Tanjiro.
right.
Plus two.
Perhaps just looking for a response from him before he opted to make his decision, but he's gonna opt to do the
The
most
full
broken
dude,
move
he's
in the
just been
game
look.
twice in a row.
These are unblockable low launchers, and he's sitting there crouching, looking at it twice in a row.
Not to mention unseeable. Not to mention this is the most diabolical move in the game
Oh, and
by
the bad breath
no
catching
short margin.
the stance transition once again. Okay.
Oh my goodness. He was about to hit him with the low launcher again. He was about to hit. He was. Oh my goodness.
All of a sudden, the tempo switch has been too much for Sonic. He needs to slow this down, and running right into a down forward 2 is not looking good.
He's been given absolutely no time to think about anything that's on the screen. He just has to go
Nice
ahead and
spring
make a
kick.
decision here, no matter what it is.
This
Let your
frames,
opponent
guess
know
is
that you're not going to
wrong.
be having any of this.
The flash. He saved it for the last moment here. Nice break
Oh,
so far
there
on
you
the
go.
grabs. Oh my god, and
Oh, but he gets him
again,
with the
he
flat breath
has
again.
him. He has had
Oh
him
my goodness.
3 for 3 for spitting on him, and that is a 2-0. Tanjiro moves on to winners finals.
Looks like he just had his number this time around. I mean, I really can't. There's not much else to say in that respect. Obviously, you know, he was trying to put up a fight in that second match, but it looks like once Taj completed the download, then he just had to install his game plan, and it worked. It worked him all the way 3-0 on the second game into winners finals.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. I was taking mostly note of like the tempo, right? First game, super like stationary, single backdashes, staying at full screen, and like delayed
Yeah,
timing on all of his buttons, like jab, down for one, stagger, and then hesitate and block the response.
right.
And then in the middle of that second round, he just suddenly turned up and was going full aggro. And then specifically the poison breath callouts on every raw Phoenix entry was wild to see.
And that's really where we noticed that the download is complete, because as soon as he starts letting those low launchers fly, I mean, it's basically just a matter of time before he's fully infiltrated his opponent's mental state. He's all over the place, living in his head for $0 a month, able to do whatever he wants on offense. And that's just kind of what happened there. You got a bit too caught up in the Yoshi antics, but
Mm-hmm.
great job from both competitors. Going to be seeing Tanj in winners finals.
That was tough. Possibly some matchup unfamiliarity, just in the sense of like, you know, if you're on Claudio, you're hop kicking that what's it called, the unblockable low on reaction,
100%
but
of
it's
the
a
time.
completely
Yep.
different button. It's forward 3 for Clive to hit that orbital. It's just like dang, you know, like you get caught there looking because you're hesitant, like as a Paul and Jack player. I feel for it because like in my instincts with Paul, I have a hop kick. But if I'm running that as Jack, you can down forward too, but that muscle memory is not ingrained. You want to block. You don't have a hop kick as
Right.
Jack, so you're just not thinking about it as an option. You just think, well, I have to eat this. That sucks.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of the times you do because the whole idea here is that as long as Yoshi's able to get his sequences started, it's gonna be really difficult to get him off you. Not because you're incapable of doing so, but just because he's messed with that comfort state. So now you try to do anything that you can to get back to that point. And defense is usually the first thing. You want to step, you want to block, you want to at the very least, power crush, right? Trying to get him off you. But a lot of times you just can't do that, right? And when they take notice, they start to use all the options in the arsenal. Then they start doing teleport, and then they start doing spin, and now you're just
Hmm.
all over the place. You have no idea how you're going to address the Yoshi, and then it just seems like it's one of those cases. It is a first to two. At the end of the day, it's not much opportunity to really get a read on your opponent in such a short amount of time. So you've got to come prepared.
Absolutely, and like you mentioned, the spin actually did come in pretty clutch. There's a lot of whiff opportunities created using the spin, and there just wasn't the proper reads and call outs on it in that short set of time, like you mentioned. But now, that's setting up possibly should Trizzy the Rapper win his side. I,
Oh shit!
if, if Trizzy ends up taking it against Shadow King Lucci, that we'll see, possibly one of the biggest shenanigan matches we'll have the pleasure of watching, right? Oh, there he is.
Maybe of the year. I mean, we're only three
Hmm.
months in, but a Yoshi Mirror is bound to be some of the most brain rottingest Tekken gameplay that you can consume.
Hmm. Spin, swords, unblockables,
Ooh,
healing, yes, screaming.
oh yeah.
Do you think they'll know how to call out each other's flashes, or they're just not even gonna care?
I think at this level of play, unironically, they kind of don't really do it in defensive settings,
Yeah, we did
but
only see one. We did only see one from the
not
last
often.
set.
They don't do it often.
I don't know. I feel like some
That's for
Yoshis
sure.
are flash machines, and some don't do it at all, and some got a nice healthy mixture. We got Lydia.
What, what the hell? Oh my goodness. Shadow King Lucci bringing out possibly one of the least played characters in fighting game history.
Oh my! And is that
This is
is
going to
that
be
Robin or is that
absolutely
Great
insane.
Saiyaman? That's Robin. Okay, I see it now.
The Polish
Hey,
Karataka.
getting the heat activated
Here we go.
early
Let's
and
see
the
what the
counter
Prime
hit
Minister could do
trade.
against the Samurai.
And
There we go.
then
That counter hit trade going to be giving him the
getting
world
this to the
and
wall just
a little bit of
about.
the
No
moon as
block.
well. Here we
Full
go.
Manji kicks,
Woo.
and yes, sir. You do not have the frames to challenge that. You need a
Not
faster
at
button.
all. You don't have the frames to challenge it. And when you talk about characters having
Nice block.
unsafe slash gimmicky sequences, Lydia definitely comes to mind in terms of a four stance character, how many options you need to be aware of in which stance, which ones am I doing that are safe, I can kind of get away with on my opponent, which ones can I not do, right?
Some nice lows from
Incredibly
Lucci. No
difficult to condition your
punish.
opponent.
Oh, and the lows are still coming out for Trizzy up 2 rounds pretty quickly. There was a little bit of fight from Shadow King. Lucci right there for a second, but perhaps too little too late. A down forward two
Woo.
hits its mark.
There you go.
Oh, goes for the setup, stays on the ground. I'll take that.
Uh-huh.
The heat
There you
smash
go.
is
Just go
just
ahead and test
not
that step.
attempting to let Shadow King Lucci play at all. Just gets that kip up, and the 1-1's gonna take it.
Incredibly difficult to already incredibly difficult to condition your opponent on Lydia, but now you're playing against Yoshi, so there will be virtually no conditioning whatsoever.
Hmm.
I think we might just have to default here to some counter hit setups,
No,
maybe some down forward one interrupts.
You're gonna need to basically. Oh my God,
Oh
sidestep,
my.
counter hit launcher. I was gonna say you're just gonna need to start bullying your way into getting involved in this match, but Trizzy one step ahead, getting with the evasive move right into a counter hit move as well to cover
Couldn't
multiple
track
bases.
quickly enough. I mean,
Hmm.
couldn't step quickly enough, so track.
Yeah, that
But
is
there you go.
one
Yeah,
of
you definitely got to
Lydia's
pull your way into this.
apparent weaknesses is her linearity. Again, you see that forward forward two trying to get the party started in any sort of way, and there's just been a nice sidestep, dodging it from
Oh, there we
Trizzy,
go.
and just doing
A
nothing
new
really
OS at mid
about
screen here
these.
with the down three.
Look at that! Like, look at this movement from Trizzy, like the slight twitch steps.
Yeah, he's not even taking him seriously. This is
Oh my
yeah, this
God!
I can't. This is insane to watch.
All
He's not
right,
even taking him
back
seriously. The back
one,
one. We're going
back
into heat.
one.
Now
Yes,
we can join the party.
yes. Take your frames.
We are invited to the party
Punish
of
that.
Tekken
Oh
8. Here we
no!
go.
Gave him the round. Oh, and ducking into the heat smash.
Still not
One
able to
more
step
hit.
those heat bursts.
All right, slow homing move. No punish on the CD. On the sword swipe. Oh, and the lows. Block.
Still,
No
yeah.
punish. Okay. Punish that,
I'm not sure
please.
he plays
Okay,
enough
gets the
Lydia to
counter
know
hit
how
grab. Gets the
unsafe
counter
it
hit
is.
grab. We got a round on the board. You gotta take your
I mean,
punishes at
to be
this
completely
level.
honest, I mean, like, who's really playing this character? A lot of the time you play this character, you see her go in a stance and you think, oh man, I'm gonna get counter hit out of this little setup you got
Oh,
going here.
gets
So they just don't
clipped.
press.
Uh, Big opening for Trizzy to start this third round.
Oi,
We're getting
oi.
to
Are
the
we going to
wall
the
all the
wall with
way.
this? Oh
Hey.
my what?
And the Manji kicks. He knows that's a done deal. Certified, guaranteed hit maker, and that's up to set point here.
What the hell is going on with this damn character?
Okay. All right, slight punish there. Oh my God, he got outside of the range for the get up
Wow.
kicks. Oh, and
Oh,
the
oh,
train has not
oh.
left the station. Good block. And the Manji kicks. We've
Oh
seen it a
my
dozen
goodness.
times in this set already, and it has gone undealt with for the perfect. Trizzy the Rapper taking it 2-0.
Totally unaddressed, but I mean, Shadow King Lucci, who can blame this dude? Who can really blame this dude? This guy was not taking him seriously. You saw the way he was stepping. This is an absolutely ridiculous showcase of how a character can just overwhelm, like we're talking about, get into somebody's psyche, because he's barely even playing the game and he's able to walk away with that 6-1, right, with that 2-0. It's just
Mhm.
ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely a unprepared opponent in a couple respects. Wasn't able to catch on to the sidestep timings. Uh, w- Let a couple punishes of theirs kind of slip away. That sword swipe that they blocked pretty well is at least -12. Could be up to 13. I just know, like, when I fight a Yoshi, I opt for my 12 frame punish pretty reliably. You got to get something. You did. You got clipped by a counter hit launch a couple times early in the set. You stopped. You did your due diligence and got your blocks. Get
The
your
hell's going
reward.
on with my
Get your reward, please. But you'll have that to reflect on in the next set that you end up on a Yoshi. You're never gonna let that happen to you again. I promise you.
Oh
Um,
yeah, not at all. But I mean,
I
the whole idea
saw.
here, of course, is if you're able to make these call outs. But the issue a lot of the times is, even like, you'll address one of these problems that they present to you, and then another one pops up. And
Yeah.
Yoshi is the most prime suspect of this character, because there's not so many options out there for you to punish that when you shut off two of these mid-screen, OSs, you can start playing your game. He's going to introduce another gimmick and you have to deal with that as well. And then go back to the first one. Oh, did you forget about the second one? You're just going to
Yeah.
have to keep dealing with, he's that character.
He is. He's a Rubik's cube, and it's always changing the colors of the pieces when you're not looking. You think you have one side down, he just switched the stickers on you. But
And
good
sneaky
stuff to
little bastard
Trizzy.
Yoshi.
Good stuff to Trizzy, doing what we know him to do. It's going to set up a pretty exciting Yoshi mirror in our winners finals. We get a nice first to three for that. So maybe we'll get closer to understanding the puzzle when there's two of them, or maybe the thing's gonna explode and we're gonna have to pick the pieces up by the time we're done.
Yeah, we will definitely see because if it comes down to a mirror, which is, well, yes, we're going to be getting a mirror. If it comes down to a mirror in grand finals, which is not too far fetched, I don't think,
Hmm.
then that's going to, be must see TV for Tekken 8. But down here in losers, we're taking a look at a potential bear going into the losers finals. We got Calling Wolf here, been making his rounds through the weeklies. I've been catching on to him lately. And Scent Sonic gonna have to deal with the winner of Justice. This is quite a bracket here in top eight we got.
Hmm. I'm gonna be enjoying seeing Mr. Leapfrog put in that paw work that I know him for. Usually is doing both, just like myself in the Paul department and on the mic department. So I'm always supporting the homie there. And then have we gotten that match from? Oh, we're still waiting on the qualifier to find out who Justice will be going against. But if Mr. Leapfrog and Calling Wolf are available, we can get that match going for sure.
Like a little bit into that qualifier.
Oh, oh boy, look at him! Let him get down! Let him get down! Hey, hey, hey!
Oh shit. Oh shit. The Bears have been and
And
here
there's
comes
Leapfrog
Leapfrog.
with the paw. We got the lore rivalry fight. I can tell you right now, I hate this matchup, and it's not just because Bear is good in this game. I hate this matchup when Bear was ass.
I've been as much as I've been invested in lower profile weeklies over the past, I want to say 2 to 3 weeks. The amount of bear that I've seen has been totally unexpected,
Hmm.
totally unexpected. And I for some reason kind of feel like I started to see way more bear after the Nino win over Joka and the Tekken Cup in Europe.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
just
something about.
the amount of gameplay that was represented there was pretty spectacular from Nino. Um, it like when your gameplay sparks discourse, you're on some next level stuff, and
Oh yeah.
whether that's an issue with the perhaps the game or if that's something that needs to be worked on by the players. Obviously, it's probably a mix of both if we're being real, but it is definitely a source of inspiration because when you're a guy like able to make it look like that against a player at Joker's caliber, yeah, you're gonna inspire a lot more
Right.
people to bust
That was
out.
that was the insane part. It didn't even have nothing to do with the fact he was playing a bear. It was the fact he was able to play a bear at
Oh
that
my
level
god.
against Joker. The round start
Round start
QCF
sidestep.
one.
Uh uh. He said
Oh, here we go. Demo man
he
to break
said
the
keep
wall.
quiet with all that bear talk. I'm cooking right now. Hey. Oh, but
Not
we're gonna
want to
get that
hear
party started
about
with armor.
bears.
Nice
We are
shredder
no
kick. We
force
don't have
open
to
with the
care.
hop break.
Oh no! I've been
Missed
working
that
on.
backstory 1+2. Oh
Yeah,
no.
he's working on the deep. No,
That's
he's
man.
going for the deep dive
Woof.
conversion
Oi.
for
Oi.
the new string that's what's it called? Tornado does more damage.
Oh,
They buffed
the
it. Deep
the
dive.
tailspin.
Yes, nice block on that hell sweep. All right, if you just keep it
Woof.
simple, should be able to get
Nice. There
this.
we go.
Yes, you want to watch the
I'll
movie.
show you strongest in the universe.
Yeah, I can imagine wanting to get that conversion going as best as you can, especially with the weirdness of Kuma's hitbox being, hard. Like, I've had a lot of combos where the core circle back 1+2 actually whiffs on Bear's small body. So you
Right.
might
You just
run
want to be
the,
safe.
yeah, you might run a bit more consistent punish
Oh.
or more consistent, like,
Oh.
landing of that with how far-reaching that move ends up going for. Oh, and you see a
Here we
lot
go.
of the Oh, brave
Nice.
challenge from Going Wolf. Usually that
Way to
is
get out of that
you getting
pressure.
counter hit all to hell. All right.
Oh, there
Oh
we go.
shoot. Yeah, we're
We're
seeing.
getting this
Oh,
little
what a
down forward
twin
1-on-1 setup.
piston! Twin pistons on the whiff get up kick was crazy.
Ow.
Nice. And he's
Oh no.
starting to call out the evasive shoulders, getting the electric whip punish. Bad situation here. Big plus frames and goes
Oh
for
my
the
goodness, he opted
hunting
for a
hog.
hop kick. Oh, oh boy.
We're starting to
There we
get
go.
those bear
Oh,
shenanigans.
nice.
A good counter hit launch from Leapfrog. Oh,
Nice.
an unfortunate drop there. Stay composed. Oh, the big low. Full charge again.
Here we
I
go. You're gonna have to
good
hold these
timing
electrics.
there
We
and
can
the
hit on the
forward
shoulder.
four. Forward four heat dash launch. Hey, running two. Oh
Oi, the
wait,
running
actually I
two to
don't like
close
this
out
because you
that
can go for
combo.
that.
Oh,
Yes, the full the flat bear wake up option is pretty easy on the running two follow up from Paul,
a
but
little down
manages
1-2
to.
to close it out. Let me say. Tries to do
All
a
right,
back
final
sway
round.
too, but to no avail. Oh,
Final round here.
could
Nice
be looking
slow.
to extend his buttons at that long range. There you go.
Jumping low and the
Trying to
bear
establish.
Jordan.
Oh, this is not where you
Oh,
want to be
off the
against a
wall gets
bear.
clipped just barely. Okay, down
There you
forward
go.
two. He wants to end
Take,
it. He wants to end it now. The forward
oh,
four after
the
the
4-4
back
gonna do it.
dash, creating the whiff punish. That was amazing.
Four
Uh,
four gonna do it there. That's gonna be perhaps a button of choice at this long range is homing. It's a heat
I was
engager.
yeah, I was just about to say it is not often you are able to make bears whiff. That's usually what they're doing to you. Counter hit on the course of forward through.
Ooh.
Same thing with lows in general being really hard to get active against bears. So
Oh
far,
my.
Leapfrog had no problem getting into that range comfortably.
I'll
Oh,
probably get
gets
into that range, but you
clipped.
got to maintain the range because in
Mhm.
terms of the options that bears have to address you being in their space, there's plenty of them. At
Working
least
on
one
a
of them just needs
robbery
to hit to
here.
get you off. He was able to get him off, if
He
only for a
did it
short moment.
again.
The
He
forward
did it
four with the heat
again.
there.
That forward four is cooking right now.
And forward four is a high, if I'm not mistaken.
It's actually a mid. It's a
He's
jumping mid. I'm a big fan.
oh
Oh,
my
get
goodness.
sent to the skies with that. He's coming to the sidewalk.
The amount
Nice.
of damage that did. Holy crap. Doesn't
The
finish the
forward,
demo man here. Potentially
forward.
risky opportunity. Evasive shoulder gonna
Oh,
leave him at the death fist. Here we
raw
go.
death is very nice. I was gonna say I like forward four for its range, and you can in some instances use it to high crush lows or low crush. I mean, and the shredder kick's also an option for that. He's like, you know what?
Here we go.
I like what you're talking about right now. I'm gonna keep going. That time, forward four getting blocked. Heat dash, no dice, and a conversion for Coing Wolf.
Wow.
Bear Jordan,
Wow.
plus frames all over the place.
There you go. Yep. Not able to get out of this, except he is able to get out of
Dude,
it. Does
and
option demo man at the wall.
unfortunate,
Oh
man.
my
He
goodness.
ran him down. He got about as close as he could to land that demo man, and it's
Oh, but the
not
plus
enough.
one gonna set
And
up
it,
a down forward to regular hit launch. Oh my
uh,
goodness. Advancing in losers, Leapfrog taking the win over Coing Wolf.
2-0. Hey man, I
That's gonna leave.
gotta give a lot of props to Leapfrog for staying
Oh yeah.
composed after that demo, man. I would be crashing out. I'm crashing out still, bro. You hear me? You see how much he had to run right at point blank to the wall, and the demo man still didn't connect? What is he supposed to do? What is Paul supposed
Not
to
only
do to
that,
land
but
that shit, bro?
the fact that Coin Wolf is sitting there watching him run all the way over to the wall too, like he was able to kind of find his way around that comfort zone that Coin Wolf likes to be in. A lot of times he's going to interrupt your run-ins with that 1-1-1. Seen it many a times. He's probably even going to jump into HBS, try to interrupt you with some dumb stuff. little hop kick, something like that. You know,
Mhm.
back one, even the power crush addresses a lot of those options. But Demo Man will win over the back one if he wants to do that. It will win over a lot of those options. In this
Mhm.
case, he got in his comfort zone. He's not able to press any of those buttons when he's unsafe about, whether he should use a lot of these options that Coin Wolf was comfortable with. So he's able to come away with that nice little 2-0. Very great job to both competitors. That was pretty nice.
Yeah, I was enjoying seeing some of the trickery with the bear stance, getting away from some of Leapfrog's options. We saw a good amount of those. I wonder if he could have opted for a couple more though. There were some times where Leapfrog was either just sitting there, respecting the option, or still swinging into it. That was getting him blown up. But and didn't I don't think really represented a true punish to the bear stance stuff, so we probably could have seen Coin Wolf be a little bit more liberal with his usage there, but still had some pretty solid plays. That first game went down to the wire, but just was unable to fully navigate the minefield of options that Leapfrog was presenting with the down forward twos and the forward force and heat with the heat dash combo. That paid a lot going forward in the set.
And I mean, that's one thing that you have to consider, right? Because if Leapfrog is sitting at mid screen and he's respecting the option that's about to be presented before him, then that means he's not too confident in whatever button that he's going to try and address it with. Perhaps, I mean, there was not a lot of down forward one usage there. That gets in the way of a lot of, overbearing pressure in Tekken 8 specifically, right? Because even if you land that and you go into backsway, it leaves you advantageous at the mid screen. But
Hmm.
in this case, I think he was kind of just looking for more read based opportunities, not really able to just overwhelm a bear with pure offense. And since he was able to pick apart a lot of that, um, layer one that Calling Wolf is frequently comfortable, using, then Leapfrog was able to come away with a lot of those reads in the forward four, and of course the setups into down forward too.
Hmm. But that is gonna set up Leapfrog versus uh the Shadow King Lucci and losers, and then we're about to get Die Justice versus
I'm trying to pronounce
IK
that either.
Yickle. I'm gonna go with IK Yickle. Or maybe Ikikel. Yep.
Already, okay,
So
this is what we like. And I can already see the bear avatar behind the waiting to
mhm.
spectate screen.
Oh, again, another one.
So
We're
perhaps
all bared up.
they've been
Hey, well,
making their way. I'm telling you, these bears, by the time season two rolls around, I don't think there's enough chatter around these characters that they're going to be getting looked at too hard by Bamco. Most people are focused on the drag and the Yoshi and the Nina.
so
Bears might.
how you gonna ignore the TWT winner and the European World Cup winner?
Well, I
They're the
mean, no,
ones
no matter
they
what
just
happens with,
Bear just won
no
the
matter
two
what
biggest
happens with
tournaments
Fang,
that
they're
we
going to
got out
continue to
here.
ignore him.
Bro,
I mean,
I
Fang is
think
going to continue to get ignored no matter what happens with him, right? So that
oh
in
yeah,
terms
it's
of that,
Arata's
and
son. It's
Dragonov is
Arata.
already pretty bad for a Tekken game, so I think they might just keep him how he is.
Ah man, this is the cycle. Drag was really good in season one of Tekken 7, and then they slowly chipped away at him. We're probably gonna see that again. Be like, hey, you get 1 year. If you can't do nothing, hey man.
Speaking of 1 year, this is a character that's most definitely going to get a slap on the wrist come season two.
What a
Jin
oh my
Kazama,
god.
round start block
Start.
on the L sweep. There we go, going
Yeah.
to the wall already,
With a
and
backdash to add on to it too. So they were super sharp about possible anything. But we're
oh
getting the
yeah,
party started with
yeah,
the armor, and it's Panda this time, a character probably the least played. Uh, so
definitely
you
among
know,
among the least
yeah,
played, no question. Gonna be going to the wall
virtually,
again, but we're
ouch.
off axis. Don't matter because we're just gonna be getting to the wall a third time anyway with a little wall splat as a cherry
Yeah,
on top.
yeah, virtually un un or
represented
virtually
character.
indifferent from uh, Kuma aside from the heat. So that might present some unfamiliar situations once heat actually ends up being a
Oh,
factor, but you're gonna have to get there first and
that's a
get a
pretty
chance
huge
to even
draw.
play the game. Yep, look at these
Oh my,
setups. Look at these setups,
holy
man.
crap! Holy crap! No, that's a ginormous draw. If your heat is worse than a character, much less the character that's standing across from you, then that is most certainly the difference between winning at, like the magic pixel or losing with half your HP. So,
Wow, beautiful
oh, a
twin
nice one
pistons
versus there.
having absolutely nothing to lose. You send it all.
There we
All
go to
right.
tail spin.
Yep.
Absolutely, the little
Oh,
roll
good
gets us
patience.
closer to the wall. Except
Oh,
he
and was
spring kicks his way out. Oh my
too
goodness.
eager to try and make more of their position there. Gets counter hit by the long forward four. And, not to speak too much about a character that needs to be looked at, but I'm just saying Jin was perfectly
Nah, fuck
fine
that
and
guy.
good. Perfectly fine and good in Tekken 7. One of his weaknesses that he had no Oki. You saw what they gave him right there. That Oki
His biggest
situation.
weakness is execution in Tekken 7.
It was
They
just
thought that, for
yeah.
the longest time, they called Shaheen boring character, boring character, boring character. Then what they went ahead and did, well, I know that Shaheen had nothing to do with this, but
Hmm.
I'm making a point here about the execution. Now, a character that they highly regarded as being this absolute giga chad is one of the most boring to watch, and I think Shaheen's stock is starting to go up now too. But we're seeing Jin be this absolute
Oh,
abomination of a character who is,
getting ate
a
up.
lot of people would argue, a baby food character.
Oh, absolutely. Ouch. And the down back four, doing very good. Yeah, he definitely got some protagonist buffs going on here. Nice forward four.
Mm-hmm.
A to the wall, up, 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 down
Every
two.
single
Just
hit,
like
any hit
taking,
that ends up
take,
in the
take,
air, there we go. We get a
yeah,
wall splat. We're going to be going to the wall regardless of the situation.
taking good, uh, good awareness of Ikyukel's kind of lacking low defense. Just kind of going for every low in the book. I've seen a hell sweep, a down two has hit its mark, counter hit, and regular hit quite a bit. Down back four, whatever low they want to go for is seeming to work. And you kind of have to understand this most likely gonna be something you have to test with bear players because they're not used to. Their legs are so stubby and they're it's so awkward. They don't often have to block lows all that often. That's if they
Right.
even reach them. This person super die justice, just very blatantly running right at them and
Oh my
kind of having their way, and
lord.
as a 3-0.
The thing about Scourge, though, is Scourge covers damn near everything that's not a hop kick.
Yeah.
There's opportunities where it eats down forward ones. It's
Hmm.
obviously a high crush, so you can't jab it. If you want
Yeah.
to, throw your own low at it, a little down three or whatever your customary in-house low is.
Might not be
I mean,
fast
it's
enough.
it's gonna trade. It might trade, and if he gets a counter hit, then he essentially gets the world. He gets Oki, potential wall carry. It's just so much in that one
And it's
button.
only minus 14.
Yeah, yeah, it's only minus 14. A lot of times you might not even be in a position to punish it because if he's using it at mid screen, he recovers at a time where if you throw out a hop kick, I mean, if you have a down forward too, you can punish it. But if you throw out a hop kick at that point, he's already blocked it. It's
Hmm.
just what a fucking
Yeah.
button.
Yeah. It's a hell of a button. We're gonna have to see how long he gets to have something like that as the years go by. But good stuff for utilizing it while we have it. To digest this again, super impressed. Like again, you saw that crazy Oki setup was nuts. You only needed to
Oh
use it
yeah,
once
no,
to
that
to
was
to
yeah.
completely frazzle the opponent. You're just like, what is happening to me? You get up wrong once and you're just cooked. Like,
You need to make a statement. You got to make a statement to your opponent, and
yeah.
essentially tell them, I played enough of this character to know how I can set you up anywhere on the stage that I want to. And if you're not able to adjust to that or address it immediately, then we're gonna have a pretty short set.
Hmm.
And it seems that he was just able to force that offense on his opponent well enough to go ahead and advance with that 2-0.
I mean,
Something that we've been seeing quite frequently here, just the offense being the star of the show.
I don't blame bro. I mean, you know, when the Bears on screen, this match needs to be quick either way. You know, I want to get out of here
Yeah,
as soon as possible. I don't want to deal with this. And I know just as well that it could go bad for me. There were a couple openings that from Ikiako, once they like when they let rip that twin pistons and got the heat engaged, like I was almost
could
scared
have
for the Jin.
completely
I was
turned
like,
around.
bro, you won like 99% of the match and now I'm scared for your life. Like what is that about?
And that's definitely where, I was saying previously, the draw in having a heat better than your opponent is really the difference between winning with a magic pixel or losing with half your HP. It's like, because as soon as they get into that heat, depending on the character, there's way too many things to account for you to try and play defense with a down forward one. And if you try
Mhm,
to step, you might get tracked. We see it happen all the time with the heat burst.
mhm.
Trizzy was just doing it, against his opponent a second ago, and Shadow
So
King Lucci. So
all bets are
they
off,
get into
man. All
heat,
bets are off.
and you got to hope and pray and hold back and just let it play out.
But good stuff to our top eight so far. Again, this is the Karina Custom Arena, sponsored by Tropics Gaming. You can hit them up. That's Tropix Gaming. They do custom controllers, PS5, PS4, Xbox. Can utilize their services to get your analog sticks changed up, the triggers for those instant mouse click buttons. I know that's a hot thing right now, getting all the responsiveness from your peripheral of choice. Don't forget to hit them up, and thanks for them for sponsoring us. We got a cool little top six from here on out.
And of course, when you're talking about a game like Tekken 8, you want the hottest of peripherals you can get. A pad to start you off. You got plenty of options here between the PS4 pads, the X inputs, and the DualSense pads. Best in-house quality you can customize, and this shit or presumably free. You get the $100 or more. You might get some free shipping, and you get to
Hmm.
customize the buttons on the back. Of course, you have your little macros,
Yeah,
and
they got
boom.
little buttons that you can install on the back. You know, I've seen a couple of controllers got those like back panel buttons for additional inputs, and you know, it's a little bit above my pay grade, but you know, some people are pretty nasty enough to add in a couple more buttons to their repertoire.
I mean, it's definitely important if you're a pad player, right? The game is already intense enough in terms of fingers when you're playing on stick or leverless. But I mean, on pad, it's a whole different thing. It's just a lot of people are not really opting to readjust their thumb for the 1+2 and 3+4 and plus,
Hmm.
and unless you're on claw, there's no way that you're doing a 2+3 or a 1+4, right? So
Yeah.
gotta have those macros 100%.
All right. Jumping right back in with the losers
Number one,
side.
Paul in the bracket.
Hmm. Man, I wish there was more of us sometimes. The Paul is as Paul is a rarity, and that's how you know he's not actually that good. So unless not, the agenda must continue. Paul, buff him. If people like me aren't playing him no more, he's not that good.
I
Trust.
just I just see there's an agenda. It's a genuine agenda, really, to downplay the absolute fuck out of a lot of busted characters. And I'm gonna specifically drop some names here. When I see King Ray Jr.
Mm.
talking about Oscar the way he talks about Oscar, I'm like, yo, I need to. That's enough Tekken consumption for the day. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to watch it. I'm gonna put on
Yeah.
something else, right?
Buff my
And
character, please, as I'm on my like 12th online tournament win in a row. and I almost
And I'm
qualified for
placing top
TWT
eight
off a
every
point.
single invitational. Like it's just
But how many Pauls did we
it
see
is
in how many Pauls did we see in top 64 of anything? I can tell you right now, damn near
make
zero.
Paul's forward
And
to
I
a mid.
watched
Okay, nobody
everything.
said all that.
I watched everything, brother. I ain't seen nobody. I saw Paul being used one
Nobody said.
time against Joe Crush from knee, and he got packed up. You never saw that guy again.
I mean, to be fair, you're going up against Joe Crush, though. There's not much you can do regardless of who you're playing. In all
Hey,
reality,
facts. But his knee.
that's not a Paul
It's
issue in
knee.
that
It's knee
case.
is goat. It's the goat. If the goat can't make Paul work, what hope do we have? That's all I'm gonna say. He's on Brian right now.
Joe
That's
Jack
another
is a bit
example.
much.
That's another example, bro. Brian, don't ever listen to them downplaying a damn thing.
Oh,
If Knee's
I
playing
think
him,
the
he's
Oscar
broken.
downplay and the
Fang is Fang is right there. And that's who Knee was rocking with towards the end of 7. That's all I'm saying.
let me see. Um, yeah, the downplay gets egregious at a point.
It's okay when I do it though. It's all good. Shh. Anyways, Paul versus Leo, another character kind of under most people's radars, and maybe for good reason. I go back and forth on thinking that Leo's really good, and also hearing out the Leo players' complaints about how they need work, they need some help. Um, and wow,
Oh
ain't
my
no help needed with that core circle back 1+2 whiff punish. AA to the wall, heat engage, going for the 3-2 sway shoulder, and the armor. Gonna have to get a little bit more offense if you want to bust out armor like that. First round of leapfrog. Oh, all right. We're getting a little
Oh
tricky
my
with the
goodness.
evasiveness and the stances. All right, the back 1-4.
I don't
Nice
know
break
much
on the grab.
of Leo's buttons or options, so I'm not gonna have accurate call outs there.
Well, what you
This is
can
not a
look to
character that you
see,
see too much.
it's not. Nice duck. They know that string and finishes with the string of their own. What you can look for is kind of similar to like take the evasiveness of Fang a little bit with the box stance, um but like stance pressure almost similar to maybe a Hwoarang or something. Like in terms of like, dang, I kind of have to when they get that stuff
Golly.
started, you kind of have to make a call out, high, low, or block the mid. Nice round start low parry. Oh, dropping it a little
Almost going
bit.
to the wall there. Not quite. He wanted to use that
Punish.
4-4. Likely to
Oh,
heat
the
dash.
full charge! He was hoping that
What?
nothing would happen there. Oh, I
Down
don't
one,
know about
two,
that
full
combo,
charge.
but it's
3
okay.
2 at the wall. Not going to finish that string. He
Oh
knows he
my
ducked it
god.
last time. The low parry. Into the down 4-4 at the wall. Very nice to close it out.
Some really good defense from Leapfrog there. Low parries are a great indictment of your defensive reads. And it's something you definitely have to do against Leo in particular. They have pretty stellar lows.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't get to see too much of it, but like Leo's best low is down forward 2+3. It's this very fast high crush punch counter hit launches. Wow, where have we heard that before? Um,
Insane, bro.
and only -12. But like I'd guarantee you and tell you that Leo does need that. Um, as far as options go, Leo seems to have like a bunch, but a bunch in terms of quantity, but not all that much in quality. A lot of characters
Right.
have things like power crushes to kind of hook them up. Leo doesn't have very many, and if they do land one, it's not exactly like the biggest bailout of all time, you know. Um, Linearity issues, I can sympathize with that as a Paul player. Um, but there is some solid
And
stuff
I've noticed
underneath
that
the. underneath the
A
hood.
lot of his stance pressure seems to be mid checkable too. That's something that playing
It's
against a few Leo players, it has became pretty apparent. And I feel like if you're able to kind of shut that down, at least in minutia, you'll open up so much of that mid range, right? And in the
hmm
close range, you might even be able to enforce a strike throw. Since that's not something that they often have to deal with either. If they're able to enforce that stance pressure on somebody, then make them guess what attack at the very least, right?
yeah, and, and I'd say Leo's stances, the stance pressure can be pretty solid. They just kind of require a call out from your opponent. For the most part, you definitely do have to hold that until you represent that you're willing to gamble and take a guess. And once it gets to that part, it kind of like the game itself kind of opens up where you start throwing
Right.
in stance cancels to like feint options so that you don't get blown up for both of you guys like committing to a guess and one of you's right, one of you's wrong. You just kind of prolong the neutral. But also you gotta be aware of the evasive moves. Down back three is a very wild and explosive move from Leo, where they kind of like are able to duck under and dip under even mids at points, um, and launch you pretty spectacularly. But kind of hard. It's almost like Matterhorn in that regard, where it's like, geez, this is a big call out move that can dodge stuff, but you're not going to see it all that often, despite it not being as unsafe as Matterhorn, for example.
Right.
But just a move to get more acquainted with and like try and learn to master if you can. I'm
And I
saying
mean,
like
is
this
it?
character,
It's one of
bro.
those things that you're definitely gonna have to get familiar with when you're playing a character that has as many stances as like a Lydia or a Leo, and there's very little margin for error in terms of that neutral space with your opponent because it doesn't take much of for characters with less stances, safer options. It doesn't take much of a read for them to kind of be able to get in and enforce their offense.
Hmm.
So you're playing almost an entirely different Tekken within the Tekken, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of characters that fit that kind of mold. Um, and again, like this isn't to downplay all the things that Leo is capable of. Like when things work, they work well. Leo's got incredible wall carry. They've got incredible wall pressure once you get to the wall. Um, some really good heat dash extension combos. I guess the heat
Absolutely,
itself
some of the
isn't,
most damaging.
yeah, the heat itself isn't all of that ridiculous, you know. Their regular heat smash is kind of just a budget Fang one, low key. Um, but it's still pretty good. Still got guess if you get hit, if you block it and then at the wall splatter combo.
And now,
But
speaking of Lydia, here goes another stance character that
hmm
has to be incredibly judicial with their offense.
nice forward four on the wake up. I like that. Yeah, opting for a different flavor, but still same kind of
Ooh,
approach. Leapfrog been finding a lot of success with that.
different flavor of the same kind of character. Yeah, most accurately,
Having a lot of
but
success with
hopefully
the
to
back sway
some
low. No duck.
hopefully to some avail here. Here we go. That 442 gonna float, but not gonna get a tornado off of that.
Nice
The back
back
one gonna
one.
be leaving us into heat. Hopefully continuing the pressure.
Oh,
Or
you can't
not.
do that in heat.
Oh, we get the
Oh,
parry and
he's still
capitalize.
going for it.
Oh my goodness.
Down forward two, taking the
Oh
fake
my.
frames and stealing that round. Oh no.
Ending
It
up with
was
the
all
parry off of heaven and earth, but not
yeah.
able to really confirm that punish is quite a heartbreaker. Oh my goodness.
Leapfrog
Here we
is
go.
just
We get that
running
tornado
Shadow
on the
King
hop
Lucci
kick.
down. Back three, down forward two, no dice. Back three trade, no conversion.
try to get a counter
Stance
hit on that red
blocked.
tape.
Oh,
Oh,
just
reads it almost instantly. Cannot confirm the QCF1.
just off the mark with the punish too. Blocked the shredder kicks, but just a little too slow. We're gonna get these lows online. Down 1-2, no dice. Down 4-1.
Oh boy.
Finishes the
Oh
string.
boy.
Nice. Gets the punish.
Nice.
Staying solid is Shadow King Lucci.
Important to know that that's unsafe. You go ahead and take what you're owed. But there you go. You don't want to get hit by that counter hit down four
No,
because you
with
will be eating a
punishment
Demo
gets
Man follow up.
the
If
back
so,
one. Nice break. Oh
gonna
my
remix him up
god.
with this move in the back.
Do you
1+2
see?
with a 4-4.
Nice. Oh
Gonna be
no.
guaranteeing some pressure here. Oh my lord.
Running 2
Oh, he
doesn't
tries to hit
quite
him
hit
with a running two.
correctly.
Oh,
And
but he gets a low parry on the wake up.
caught on to the low get-up kick habits of Shadow King Lucci and sitting on set point here. Oh my
Oh
god.
my
Paul classic.
gosh.
Block the
As Pasty
elbow.
Steve would say.
Block the elbow. Get down for 2
Oh,
through
and the
trouble.
stage gimmick. And he's back to the
Running
wall. The
2.
running two.
Down 1. Oh, stays up. Or stays low. Nice. Nice break on the
Oh
grab. Shadow
my
King Lucci, what do you
gosh.
have left? Finishing the string, no punish, no dog, and the shout. That's
Oh
another
my
classic. All of the
god.
old school
There you
Paul
go.
scrolls
Oh,
are
the
being
4-4
unfurled,
1+2. That's a
bro.
favorite. That's a favorite. The 4-4 1+2 gives you
In
a
the
ginormous
shoulder.
wall splat. Has some enormous knockback too
Mhm.
at the mid screen. You get to just
And
run up to your opponent, do whatever you want on wake up essentially.
sometimes you just get got by the ancient techniques.
Absolutely disgusting.
You
I like
gotta,
to
yeah.
sometimes use Paul as a grappler with that forward 1+2 because if you can just keep annoying them with the thought that they have to tech that, then you can continue with down forward one when they start getting conditioned to the throw game.
hmm Yeah, like that's Paul. Like for the most part, not all that much in terms of gimmicks, but like the ones that he does have, if you don't know, I feel bad.
The
But
10 hit is the most popular one easily.
you gotta take advantage of those things. It's a knowledge check. It's a knowledge check. Forward forward 2-1 into shoulder. Of course, go forward 1 and then down forward 2. These are you call them the classics because it's a old reliable type of thing.
Yeah.
When you find out they fall for it, you're like, yes sir, I'm in there.
And
And
then
if
you
they're
just
solid,
you just
you're
run
like,
down.
okay, all right, you know ball. I understand it now. Ooh, and here we go. Send Sonic back on the screen versus Die Justice. Both of these
Oh
guys
my.
really strong showings. Let's see if Die Justice is going to be as effective in his aggressive style, whereas Sensonic with
Yeah.
his
Little
main
down
out
four
here,
on. Oh my goodness.
no break on the
Oh
one plus
my
two.
gosh. Here we go.
But he put the Clive away. Nice block.
The
Oh
insta
my
ball
god.
standing punish there. Oh my goodness, but it's not going to matter because the Scourge counter hit is going to give him this wall.
Ooh,
He can
low
have
wall
whatever he
slump.
likes if he confirms, but he does not. Oh, but we're going to go for the power
Yeah.
crush anyway.
Yeah. So far,
Little
Dad Justice has represented he does not care too much about frames. He is gonna go
oh,
for stuff. If you're not
nice.
tight with it, you're gonna get cooked. A nice to the wall. Flip
Need to be
over.
frame tight, but even then, he still might throw a
Nice
Scourge at you.
interrupt. And then frame traps with the 2-4, keeping the wall pressure. Crouch jab, that's what I was talking about with this. Oh, the hop kick. Oh, but
Ooh, there we
off
go.
axis. Oh, you hate to see it, but you love it if your Die
Nice.
Justice as
Ooh.
he's about to take the round.
Nice. Juicy damage at the wall there.
Gotta stay
Perhaps going to be
composed.
looking to
Oh
embark
man.
on a travel right back to the wall if
Complicated
possible.
wire throw. The one break not broken. Going for the lows. Trying to get any sort of slow, deliberate
Wow.
pressure against Sonic. Nice counter hit on the
3-1 heat
4-3-1.
dash. We will be getting the
Going
luxury
for
of the wall
gimmicks?
here.
No. And man, we saw like three. different wall enders from Jin, and they all resulted in some messed up stuff.
Just the amount of damage emanating from this character being now that he's the central point of
Round
the plot.
start,
Something to
Choryu
witness.
down
The
two.
central
All right,
point of the plot now trying to be the central point of this
good
bracket, but he's got
block.
to get to Sonic first if he wants
All
to do so.
right,
Already up one.
starting to catch on a little bit to these low timings with the low parry. Very nice. No duck. Oh my God. Speaking
Oh
of duck,
my!
this is what you should have done. But he messes up his combo too and gets hit with the heat engager for good measure. No
There
duck
you go.
there. It's crazy. He's still going for these ducking strings when he's been showing all this pressure.
Good lord!
All right, Sansonic,
Way
I
to keep
see
him at the
you.
wall there, contained.
Ah, and going for the
Really
frame trap.
jailing
Nice
him with that
block.
offense.
That's F4. Oh, and doesn't assume that he's not going to finish the string again. Look at all these counter hits. I think Sensonic has caught on to something here. Nice hard duck.
Oh, but
Not
he
as big
ducks
a
the
punish.
high just in time.
But
3-1
he's
heat dash. We've seen this movie before. We're going to be
did.
traveling to the wall. It might be a long run, but we're here.
Round
And
hop
now
kick
we
on
got
his
to find
wake
our
up.
way out, Sonic.
The hell sweep
He was
and
perhaps
the down
expecting a scourge
four.
there, I believe.
Oh no.
Ooh, he tries to
Let's
go for
not do
that
that
blade
now.
four.
Let's not do that
Yeah.
now. Oh, down two. Yep. Good range on the heat burst. No punish on the down four two. And just 0 for 3 on throw
Oh,
break to
yeah.
Sensonic. And the heat smash just gonna take up all the
Oh, we're just
space.
going to get a wall splat on this anyway. Oh, but he's
That's
not
a
able to
four.
confirm, and he still got heat. This might.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
swings right into the down back
Could have
four.
been. Could have
Set
been
point,
records.
set point for Die Justice. All right, gets the duck this time
Wonderful
again
duck.
on the high. All right,
There you go.
perhaps
The wall standing
same. All
one for
right,
the wall
this
carry.
is
Yep.
literally how that one round happened last time. All right, we're getting out of there though. We're not letting this happen again. Running four, gonna
Tries
get
to
punished
blow him
slightly.
up with that mid.
Hop kick. I don't
Oh,
care
with the there
about
we go.
nothing. Very nice work.
Going to a final round.
Ward 4 gonna whip punish there. Down two this time. Running four. That's gonna catch him airborne.
Oh,
Unfortunate. The
too
heat
slow.
burst
Oh
timing.
my
So you're gonna
good
go for some dirty
God,
stuff.
man.
Down two. Heat burst or smash. Oh my god. A
Oy.
pixel and a down four. What else can you do? Die Justice remains sharp and 2-0. Yep. Hey man. Hey man, I feel you. I feel you. I'm not gonna be able to repeat that on for what you said in the chat, but I just I understand. I understand. But good stuff. I liked what I saw from
Ridiculous.
both players. Some good options on the whole. I was thinking since Sonic was catching on a bit to the counter pressing timing from Die Justice a bit. Uh, but it was just a little too late, and he was more correct more times than he was incorrect,
I
as it
think
turned out.
we were actually really starting to see the counterplay from Sense Sonic come in there at some crucial moments when needed. Although, like you said, too little, too late. I'm not even fully sure if it was much of a case of that there. It just kind of seemed like at those moments where he's been countered, Die Justice remains confident. He remains poised in his approach. So it being thrown, you know, off of his layer one, if only for 2 to 3 interactions, is not going to dissuade him from continuing the pressure that he's established up until like the first few rounds of a match,
Hmm.
right? So
Yeah.
he's able to address it for a moment, but he wants to test you and see if you can again because we've got OSs, right? Scourge is not the only thing that we can do here. We can opt for the 2 breaks, the 1+2 breaks, right? Right. We can opt for the Zen pressure in terms of just being able to get you at the wall without needing to, get a launch and carry and all that.
Hmm. It was just like, yeah, like you said, when you're up that much, the confidence is the main thing. You had no reason to be shook by anything. Uh, and what was it? Yeah, and you know those little moments, really in the little moments, right? Like you said, 0 for 3 on grab breaks. Uh, just getting one of those change could have changed the complexion of those rounds, but that just wasn't what
Totally.
the reality ended up being today, and that could be the difference. And so we're up to our top four now. That sets up Die Justice versus Leapfrog in our loser semis, and then our Yoshi mirror, as we're expecting in winners finals. That should be coming up as soon as Trizzy is free.
Yoshi Mirror in winners finals likely to be a no, almost definitely going to be a marvel of Tekken 8 antics and system mechanic clashing at its highest level, right? And whoever ends up having to deal with whichever Yoshi is making it into grand finals is just going to have a whole other can of worms that they need to deal with that perhaps may not have been open for them previously before. This might be a whole new thing for them, as we've seen. Of course, the Yoshis making relatively easy work of their previous opponents. Let's hope not to see that again.
Yeah, it's gonna be unstoppable force versus unstoppable force. Though I have to bring up, as much as we harp on saying that characters like Nina and Yoshi are top one, top two, you don't actually end up seeing them all that much against each other at these top eight level tournaments, right? There's not like, and it depend your local scene depending, but I can't seem to recall any major tournaments that had like Yoshi v Yoshi and Nina versus Nina in like their top eights represented in their top whatevers going against each other at the very least. I'm sure that there's tons of them where there's like a solo main of each represented in the top eight, but you don't often get to see like they're not dominating the brackets in the sense that that discourse would lead you to believe, whereas like oh every tournament's just three Yoshis and two Ninas and you know maybe a Jin there or something. So this would be a
Well,
nice first.
discourse will lead you to believe. It'll lead you to believe a lot of things. Obviously, you'll be led astray if you know the information is purely reliant on what Twitter is regurgitating. But I do think that there is a problem with a lot of the characters that people are complaining about. Not all of them, because of course players, especially fighting game and definitely FPS players, are incredibly pretentious. Right? There's not always a lot of logic in the discussion. A lot of the times there's not. But
Hmm.
when we're talking about those quote unquote top fives, then there's not much argument to be put up. I guess you can say that you don't see them a lot in bracket, but to be fair, there's a wide spread, right? We started seeing a lot of Clive
Yeah.
after the release, you know, his DLC, and the Kazuya stocks began to move up after the last few patches. You don't see a lot of him in bracket either, but a lot of people
Hmm.
would argue that he's came up in the Tekken 8, you know, food chain,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah, the people I think the characters I've been seeing rise the most has definitely been it's been Jin. I'm I recall the feelings about Jin towards the start of Tekken 8, sorry. Uh People were kind of unsure. They felt like sometimes he was strong, but other times it was like I don't know how strong he could be. It feels like it's hard to get some stuff going. People can react it down too. I swear. I was like, I don't know about that. But towards after a full year of the game, we started like seeing the Jin players improve and like kind of get a full mastery of the Tekken 8 Jin. And now it's
Oh
like
yeah.
kind of undeniable. And you have to imagine that you know the Yoshis and the Ninas are probably in that realm too. You know, you have a year to learn a already hard game, but those characters aren't quite, well, at least in terms of, in at least Yoshi's case, not exactly an accessible character. So that could be why I haven't seen too many of them like jump up in there. Um, it's just it takes some time with these characters that are difficult and not as easy to approach. But now that the time and the work has been put in, you're starting to see those results, and uh, it's just maybe it all that was gonna happen was we needed more time to wait for them to like kind of get a full grasp on their character and whatever.
It's possible. I mean, it's definitely possible. And in terms of the difficulty, the discussion of characters and how approachable they are, because tier lists, I think, aside from obviously the results that you can measure at high profile tournaments, invitationals, and world tour stops, right? Those are results that you can measure, but the traditional tier list tends to stem from it's kind of a balance between the level of difficulty needed to play a character in comparison to the ROI that you get from that level of difficulty, right? So most people are not exactly willing to spend 80, 120, 200 hours learning a Mishima when they can just pick Jin. Jin is kind of the fast forward to learning all the intricacies and um, deep techniques that require a efficient Mishima player at its core, right? Or you don't have to just sit and learn a difficult character if you don't want to.
Hmm.
Um, it's a choice. Tekken in a lot of ways allows you to take the game as far as you want to, but that's kind of the beauty of just having simpler characters is you don't need to do that and still get pretty decent results. Fang
Exactly.
ends up falling into that uh, criteria because a lot of people say that Fang is pretty difficult to play, and at high level, it's hard to argue that he's not. In terms of Jin,
I don't know about
well, I
Fang being
mean,
difficult. That's just my
at
thing. I
a
think
high
that
level,
character.
that's it's hard to argue that he's not difficult to play. It's pretty difficult to argue that.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, that character was top 3 in 7 at the end of 7, and it's hard to say how much he really got weaker going from 7 to 8. That character is one of the neutral gods. You know, it's like him, Jin, and I don't know, maybe
Well, I mean,
Dragonov.
Jin doesn't even have to play neutral,
Yeah, he
right?
doesn't have to, but he has
Um,
amazing. He has amazing neutral. In addition,
and that's
Fang, just by
right.
that same token, might just have some of the best just raw buttons. In addition to all of his evasiveness and bro, like the combo structure of this game, like the combo system has absolutely benefited him with no setbacks. Like they literally had to change the strong aerial tailspin mechanic partially due to him and Nina just having the best results of it. All of his combos work no matter what wonky situation, and we've seen no shortage of wonky situations in these games. His combos are fine. His combos are always like whatever you were regularly gonna do, it is what works. You don't have to have a case situation where like, oh, I'm off axis by like 2 pixels. Oh, I need to do a whole new combo route. No, his stuff is the
Right.
same. Um, but
But
like you said,
ultimately, right, like
the simplicity does elicit like what can determine like the strength easy early on for sure. Oh my god,
like
early on
I mean,
combo.
really, when it comes down to tier list too, of course, uh, the strong characters who are difficult to play, like think Johnny in Rev 2, right? Think Geese
Oh
in Tekken 7, or
yeah.
for that matter, King of Fighters. There are strong characters that are very
Oh
difficult to play. Is Fang very difficult to play? I'm not 100% sure about that, but optimization, using the right tools at the right time, these are, pretty crucial things that don't
Ooh,
exactly apply to every character that is simple to pick up and incredibly
that's
effective
fair.
early on.
And speaking of
But it
effective early
looks like,
on, Digestus
yes.
effectively getting that first round, but
Oh, the
Leapfrog trying
back's
to
way
get one
too.
right back, but good call out on the demo man. Jeez.
Going to be a huge low stagger
Jumping
there
punish
to
or
get that
jumping punch
launch.
probably could have gotten a launch. Apparently that's super minus.
Oh
Oh
my goodness, that
no.
full charge could have been
Oh, nice
something different.
break.
It
Oh,
was
and the
out
hop
of
kick.
the
Yeah, that's one way to deal with down
Wow.
two, huh?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, he's so brave for going for that demo, man. What if that blue spark? What if he needed the blue spark to kill? Whereas a rage art would have just worked. Nice, falls for the last bit of the string and the calls out the
The
step with the forward.
4-4. Oh
You're not blocking
my
this demo,
god.
man. Full charge. Yep, he's not gonna respect that. We saw that in the Sonic set.
I think he wanted to
Whoa,
set
the
up the
rubber
down forward
band attack?
1-1-1. But
Dodging the forward
instead,
forward too?
this is
One more
ridiculous.
hit.
Oh my goodness. 4-4.
Nice, and just goes for the
The
low.
QCB3. Or the QCF.
Leapfrog. Flying knee, nothing.
Ops for the
Rubber band.
QCF 3 plus
Shing!
4. Save option on block. There you go. 3-2, 3-2. Going to the wall. Here we go.
Go there. Charge.
No need a tornado. The charge on the forward 1+2. Looking to set up.
Oh, whiff punish on the cans. Very errant. And the
and the guard
just
break.
deer in the headlights on the guard break. That's a perfect game one to Leapfrog.
Oh my goodness. Making
Dude.
Digestus look like he's never played this game on the first match of the set and loser semis. And he's been out here making people look like they haven't played Tekken 8 before. This is ridiculous.
They were scratch. Dude, are you for real? Oh my god!
Oh,
He
yeah.
is soul
Oh, yeah,
reading
yo.
him. Sidestep, duck through the high death fist, and then immediate hop kick on heat engager. Like, he did not give a damn.
54.
But it's not over yet. The great equalizer. Heat smash,
the-
ball splat from 7 yards away. Nice break. Nice punish on the errant armor move and the rubber band attack again.
Dash.
Leapfrog. He's going to make him watch it this time, right? Yes, sir.
Just need to be safe and confirm that with the rage art.
Dog, I'm still geeking over.
Guarantee on the demo, man.
I'm still geeking over last game's Corsical back 2 dodging forward 2 from Jin. That was wild.
This is developing so quickly.
Oh, good duck, but slow on the punish. And just rips the Corsical back 1+2. Gonna go to the wall. Optimal damage situation. Hey, going for the guard break. The setup. He stays on the ground.
That guard break, but instead, yep. So you're gonna get hit either way in that situation.
Again. Heat dash to get out of the way.
Dash. Oh.
Punish that. Oh my god, he doesn't care. And the rubber band attack dodging the forward 2 again. Are you kidding me? Mr. Leapfrog. Counter hit.
Oh my god.
Set point. The shoulder.
Lord.
2 plus brain.
Side switch.
Digestus on his last legs. He could explode at any minute.
Ducks right under that electric.
Oh. Gets clipped by the heat
and
smash. He was
almost
trying to armor.
nick of time. It
Nice
like
block.
Could have been a call.
Goes for the
there.
ultimate
Nice
tackle. Oh, okay, he breaks it.
Oh, tax out.
Forward 2. Forward 4. Hell
Demon
sweep.
Paul.
He's
Nothing
swinging for
up.
the
Let me get the
fences.
hell sweep. It's a
He's
stir.
going for everything.
And
The
we're at
counter
the
hit
wall?
down 2. Okay. Digest is staying alive.
Scourge counter
It's
hit
looking
on
ugly.
wake up.
It was. He was trying to clip him. Nice duck this time. 4-4-2. No dice in the back 4 whiffs. Just rubber band
And he
snap.
just goes for it again.
He's going for it again a third time. The shredder kick. No punish.
3-1 heat dash.
All
Looking
right.
for something here. There you go. No tech.
Finally
right
a
into the
grab, but
ground.
screwed.
Face plant.
Oh my god.
Oh
and
my
it's
goodness.
again. This is the move of the match if he ends up taking this course. He'll go back to doing all sorts of work. Doing again. Armor! He ducks under it through the stance though! It doesn't block the down 2.
Power Crush's Power Crush.
Oh! The down forward 2! He takes the
And this
frame!
is gonna be it.
running two. He's going for
Almost.
Oki. Down one. Yes, sir.
Oh my
Mr.
gosh.
Leapfrog staving off the last second surge from Die Justice with a 2-0.
Not sure how anybody else would have written it, but I'm not 100% sure this would have been the narrative. Taking a place in a lot of different
Down
FGC
for
places tonight. Supposed to
two.
be casting on that WTI for Shinblade, but here he is
Making
making a
top
run in
three.
losers finals. Yeah, making top 3 out here in the CCA #1.
Bruh.
And yeah, there you have it. So now, between the winner of Trizzy and Tanj, we're going to be seeing them go up against Leapfrog in the losers final. So either way, Yoshi's going to be making it into grand finals here.
Yeah, that is gonna
How
be how it
poetic.
shakes up. Man, that was a hell of a performance from Leapfrog. Like we said, we saw what Die Justice was doing to people, and Leapfrog was making some insane calls, great plays. Um, got me thinking about, got me rethinking some of the options I might try and go for the next time I face a Jin. Particularly that core circle back 2 was doing
The
absolute wonders.
been familiar with Leapfrog for a little bit now, and I honestly gotta say I did not think this dude as a tournament player. I've never seen him play before. It's my first time getting a look at Leapfrog's Paul, look at
Hmm.
his Tekken play, and I gotta say I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Welcome to the show, man. Guy does it in game, off the game. What else can you say? All right, and here we go. What is this costume, man? We're gonna get to the bottom of that at some point, but got a first to three Yoshi mirror going on with us here. Tanjiro versus Trizzy. Nice, gonna go for that low. And slight life lead to Tanjiro with the rip reps. He gets the big blade. Oh, and evens
Oh,
it right back, activating heat first. They both
see?
sidestep the same way after heat burst again. Bro, they're on the same wavelength for sure. That's insane. Heat burst sidestep right, heat burst sidestep left, and the bad breath. That has been Tanjiro's best move across the sets we've been playing. But good block on the Manji kicks. Goes for his own slash kick. Doesn't.
Mm.
Oh my god.
Oh, but he. Oh my goodness! He faked
He
it
got
out and went for
he
100
got
kicks anyway.
he got very lucky that the punish on that spring kick was slight enough for him to get another chance at life, but Trizzy still takes it. Good round first. And then instant helicopter. He's trying to get a round back. Tanjiro flying over. Oh, here we go.
What
Here
in
we
the?
go. It's the
Wow!
circus.
What a hitbox!
Nice jab.
What a hitbox!
But it's not over yet. Trizzy trying to use
She's
all
starting
his
to get a taste of
resources. All sorts of plus frames.
his
Goes for
own
the instant.
character
There we
this
go.
set.
No punish on the Manji kicks? What are you guys doing? No while standing four? Oh, what a spacing trap from Trizzy. The 1-1 gonna create that wall explosion. Has rage. Maybe we'll opt for the rage art.
Oh
Wall
my
to
goodness!
wall?
I'm gonna
Never
have the
mind.
wall
Set up the
anyway.
Oki situation. Oh gosh. Beautiful
Ay ay
comeback,
ay!
man. With 5 seconds to spare, Trizzy pulled that one from the brink and is now up 2 bubbles to none.
Getting a taste of his own character, but it looks like he's able to assess it quite properly.
Going throw
Interested
for
to see a mirror
throw.
match here. I don't see Triz playing mirror matches very often.
Jump. Okay, man. You guys spent like the first 15 seconds of the match doing nothing and then run up, get hop caked is what's gonna happen. All right.
Talking about the weather and whatnot. Potential buffs, obviously. What else do these
Manji
Yoshi
kicks not
players
being
talk
dealt
about?
with. Big sword slashes, and all of a sudden, all
Leaving
the
him
air's been
back
sucked
turn.
out of the room for Tanjiro, who was starting off hot both rounds, but Trizzy just invalidated it all. Okay, I'm seeing in the
Definitely
chat that's
interested
supposed
to
to be Moon
see
Knight.
how he
Oh, I
is
see it. Okay, it's a
faring
crescent
against his
with
own
the ring.
character.
Okay, okay. It's okay though. We got 3 matches. You gotta win 3 times. Didn't quite go all the way for Tanjiro, but he had really good promise that first round or that first game, second round. Uh, just got to tap into more of that and less of what happened that third round.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, this is
Well,
probably not something that you see too often in the first place in terms of both of these dudes. Uh,
hmm
Playing in a mirror match, especially not Trizzy. You know, the Trizzy
Ooh,
gameplay
nice.
we see very often, but the mirror is a new test of might, the test of knowledge.
Nice.
Of course, that unblockable low launcher going to be giving him so much to work
Get it.
with. Not able to fully
Oh,
capitalize, but he spins out of the heat burst
hard duck.
and
He
fully
knew.
ducks.
He did a very cool
Oh
slight
my
spin to
goodness.
dodge the heat burst. And now, but the heat smash did not come out fast enough to make a punish out of
Whole
it.
bunch of jank
Oh
at
my
the wall
god.
happening.
Uh,
Oh no,
wake
not
up
good, not good,
correctly.
not good, not good.
He backs off. Oh, the spin
Oh,
at the last second. Trizzy's got nerves of steel, bro. He
way
stared
to
him dead
call
in the
that
face
out.
after that landed. Oh my god. What a whiff punish. He's sharp. Slash kick. Manji kicks. Oh, what a whiff
Oh
punish again.
no.
Setting up some Oki. Flip over. Yep. Going for the
Woof. Oh
unblockable.
my.
Yep. That is just how the train rolls, and it's nonstop for Trizzy. He's next stop is hoping it's grand finals.
And it's looking
Nice.
like it thus far. He's able to get this heat engager. He's been having quite a consistent night in this bracket. Only needs to
Spin the
make it happen once more against Tanj in this
spin the
match
sword away
point.
just to whip it out right there. Big sword swing, gonna take the life lead as he heals slightly, but oh my god, he just
Oh,
whip punishes him again. He says, "I got one
almost full
better for you."
screen.
Look at this. Look at this, man. We
You
were
see the
expecting a
fear
bunch
that he
of
struck in Tanj, the
no
unblockable.
punish. It's like unsettling how we were expecting this to be like a circus show of them like flipping around and doing a bunch, but they're actually opting to do a whole lot of nothing. And it's costing
Yeah,
them.
and
It's
there you
costing
go.
Tanjiro for his
That's it.
inaction. Did not do enough. And
The inactivity
that's
giving
another.
Trizzy 2-0 lead in the winners finals.
Just running it right back. All right. Perhaps we are going to turn the tempo up,
He's got to be
but it's still.
noticing that this inactivity is a weakness here.
Mhm. I mean,
Detriment.
it's not like there hasn't been moments where he's had a health lead, right? And Trizzy has been like super slow and methodical about how he mm, uh, makes his way back into the conversation of taking the round back. But like, look, he is just fully content. He's just back walking. He's just holding back. Tanjiro is throwing a bunch of feints his way. He's not biting until he needs
Not
to.
even remotely phased by any of the offense that Tanjiro the Ripper has to offer here. This is insane. I am totally convinced that he wishes he never met his heroes because it's clear now
God, and then
that
dude, you
everything that
do
he's
it
learned up to
twice.
this point.
Switch it up on the third. Yes, sir.
Oi!
Oh my god, and the step
Oi!
back on the toe kick. Tanjiro, please. I need one
Now
round.
we're at match point.
One round.
Okay.
Or is it going to be grand finals ticket for Trizzy? Okay, Manji kicks. Oh, caught him with the mid a
I
little
think
bit.
he has totally gotten him shook out of the fact that his layer one was not able to comfortably
Okay.
establish itself. So now we're seeing how much depth Tanj is really capable of. Any
Okay,
activation
feet
of a
first.
layer 2 or layer 3 would be quite
Kanji
needy
kicks.
at this point
He's
now.
just he's running full sprint at him. Okay, stops on a dime that time for on the hop kick lands again.
Oh
Sorry,
my
I didn't mean
gosh.
to say nothing. I didn't even mean to say nothing, man. I'm so sorry. And then he tried to go for the sweep that time. He wasn't gonna react to it, I don't
Tanji,
think.
there you go. To get a little bit of damage.
Oh, he
Oh, we're
steps on it,
confident.
but
You're able to get
not
away, but he
quite.
gets hop kicked anyway.
He was too late
Oh my
on the
gosh.
recognition.
That's a heartbreaker. The fact that he was able to evade that pressure right there, that scrambly pressure, and still got hop kicked regardless. It's a true heartbreaker, man. It really, really is.
He's gonna have to shake that one off as he heads into this losers finals against Leapfrog. But wow, you want to talk about some composure, you want to talk about some poise, professional, all of that. That's what Trizzy
I
represented in
didn't
that
go
set right there.
nearly the way I was expecting it to. Just like to your point, this was kind of projected to be fireworks, no holds barred slugfest, and it was not that. It absolutely was not that.
You saw a little
He was
spark of
composed.
it in that first game when he made that super low health comeback because it took him getting beat up in Tanjiro's offense for him to bust out some of his fireworks there. But then it was just a very like deliberate kind of beat down from then on out. It
Right.
was just
Yeah. That's yeah.
it
he
was
he was
scary.
figured out kind of quickly. It looked like.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, when you get to that point where your opponent is not comfortable to, this is kind of what we've been talking about all night, establish that offense that they're so comfortable doing. We saw it in the most obvious display there from Tanj, how he kind of froze up. He was
Yeah.
not able to walk up and do those unblockable low launches because he knows as a Yoshi main, he can just go ahead and spin out of that. He
Yeah.
knows he was not able to hit him with those command grab gimmicks out of the helicopter because he'll just duck it, right? He's
Mm-hmm.
not afraid to be challenged by those mids because, in a lot of the cases, he'll either spin out or do teleport in any case. And you just duck the command throw. So absolutely totally unfazed by the mirror matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Trizzy.
I mean, you spend all your time mastering your character for a reason. Uh, and a lot of people have different opinions on how they feel about mirror matches. I personally don't enjoy. I personally don't enjoy mirror matches. I think both my characters are annoying as hell to fight. But a real one is gonna understand all the options, both for and against their character, and Trizzy showed that in spades. Again, the simple single spin to get out the unblockable low in a pressure situation up against the wall. I mean, that's just the kind of play you need to make right there, and he does it. The scramble
You must have
situations,
been
he was
through that
also
kind
able
of
to.
thing before.
He has to. Oh, like you don't get that kind of level of recognition if you haven't been through the fire and the flames a little bit yourself.
And to me, I mean, I don't want to say that it comes as news, but like I said, I don't see this guy fighting mirrors, so I'm not entirely sure if he's getting a mirror sets offline or away from stream or whatever the case is. But I've seen even a lot of the most composed or defensively sound players kind of crumble under the pressure of that unblockable low launcher. But
Hmm.
Trizzy just seems to be totally unfazed by it, and that is the result of character mastery and playing to your strengths. Obviously, playing to your strengths, being patient, waiting
Hmm.
on your opponent to do something, having the read, making them miss, making them pay.
The something I want to note was like in the Sense Sonic set, right? I was making note of how stationary Tanjiro was. He was doing single back dashes and just kind of hanging at full screen. And Trizzy somehow made him play even slower, which was unsettling. It was just like, we already know Tanjiro's like not one to rush in, do a bunch of crazy stuff, right? And good stuff
Right.
to digest this for helping point that out. But it was Trizzy somehow reducing his pace even further. But now we are going all gas, no brakes. He don't got to worry about none of that. Leapfrog taking a quick punch to the mouth. Oh, tried to forward to that. Oh my gosh. Just barely
Truth is, I
missing
think it
out.
was even slower because it appears to me,
Nice
I
punish.
may be incorrect, but from whatever I'm able to gather, it
Oh,
seems that
nice sidestep low berry.
Hanja's approach is predicated around his opponent trying to bite on that defensive kind of dormant playstyle. And since Trizzy was not giving him what he was asking for, there was an issue here where now he's like, okay, if you're not going to bite, you want me to play the front foot, then this is an issue
This is what it,
because I don't
this is what it
want
looks
to be
like.
on the
Yeah, as
offensive.
you can see, yeah, look, he is retreating to full screen after getting close to a health lead here. And just kind of, oh, nice forward four approach and just going straight for the heat smash. Not going to get any other
Damn.
defensive option other than a duck to beat that. He wanted to get out of there as soon as possible. Forward four on
Ooh.
Oki, being
Ooh.
represented very nicely by Leapfrog. He sapped it. Did not get the, oh,
Oh,
he didn't get the whip punish
oh my
recognition.
goodness.
Oh, shoot.
He was able to. Oh my! What is going on now? This is
We
the
are
kind of
jumping
scrambling that we were
around.
expecting to see just a set ago. There you
Oh,
go.
the
Back one
forward
plus
four
three
on
getting to the
Oki
wall. Forward
again.
four.
Leapfrog up on game point here and goes for the one throw, no break. Forward four again. He caught him ducking. Heat smash. Gonna go into the explosion.
Oh
It's
my
We're
word!
going for as big of a lead as possible for this round. He wants it ended. But Tanjiro's not out of it
This is
just yet.
round
All his
ended
resources.
as quickly as
You gonna
possible. He's
chill?
only a singular round away from taking the first match of this
Oh
set
my
to
god, you
go to
gotta
the
be
grand
kidding
finals.
me. Then the down
There you
one
go.
for
And there you
off
go.
axe is gonna take it. I saw what he was hoping for. Didn't quite reach it, but he had a contingency plan. And Leapfrog continues his hot streak here, going into losers finals.
That's
Very
something I
impressive.
wasn't even really thinking about too. He's been making quite a run down here in this loser side of the top eight. This is getting out of hand. This might lead to a little trip to grand finals for Leapfrog if he keeps up this behavior.
He took the punch to the chin from Tanjiro. That first round was a complete wash, and he just stood firm. Took the next three pretty convincingly. To see what kind of adjustments Tanjiro goes for. Just kind of wasn't able to really get too much game started, and part of that was due to his propensity to let the fight come to him. I want to see if he wants to possibly open his own offense up. And yes, we're getting buttons to start. No punish on the death fist, but it was pretty well spaced. Forward, 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 the trooper roll, jumping
Oh
over the
my.
option. This is gonna hurt.
There you go. I
Shoulder,
taking off
sting.
a clean looks about 45%, but
Nice
we're gonna start healing
low
that back. Actually,
parry.
we're not gonna start healing that back. If Mr. Leapfrog has a say, there you go.
Nice
Almost in range. Has to go for the
patience.
spring kick.
Had him completely shook on that spring kick. No dice, and he gets the back three punish and the round. Forward four. And that all was started by impressive defense from Leapfrog. He had that low scoped out just perfectly. Okay. The evasive shoulder. Forward four still trying to work on that on wake up.
Oh,
And the
nice.
rubber
Do a
band
little setup in
attack,
the
the
forward too.
evasiveness, but great block, not deterred.
Oh
Tanjiro getting
my,
the launch
there you go.
punish, getting to the wall. But this might be an awkward angle.
Big break he's been looking for. Nice.
Toe kick, but he's
We're
still
at the wall
up
with the
against the wall.
option.
This is scary. Get away from there. Goes for the
Oh
full
my.
Manji kick. Down one counter hit. Okay. Forward four. Oh, but he was still on the ground. And the two throw, no break. Leapfrog stealing that round and all the air out of the room for Tanjiro. Oh, but he's still charging through heat. Oh my goodness, he tried to whiff punish the heat smash there. Didn't get it.
Got a bunch of fighting them still left. Regardless of how Leapfrog
nice
feels
break.
about the trajectory of this set, Tanjiro will continue to.
He just keeps doing
what?
it.
Oh my goodness.
Two up back two.
The pressure is too much.
He gets that hit to the wall. Another spring kick, ill-advised. He is too shook for this train, and he gets the reset to close it out. I think even if that picked up regularly, that round was done so. And that is a 6 rounds straight since losing that first round for Leapfrog. Good lord.
I think the mentality is beginning to backfire. If it doesn't work, we actually cannot do it again. We've got to try something else. We can't keep doing it. We can't.
Leapfrog is
I know that perhaps the
representing.
spring kicks might have worked against somebody else who wanted to spam jab on wake up or an arbitrary sidestep for Oki instead of going for a bit, a little damage or OTG. But we're going to have to stop the spring kicks. We cannot continue doing it.
You can just see it is from pure uncomfortability. You spring kick when you are expecting someone to rush you down and you do not want to deal with it. He wants no parts of this up close gameplay from Leapfrog, but Leapfrog is fully content to stay at the exact range that he's been at to start most of his offense. But
and
also his
conducive
defense.
to his success.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been incredibly conducive to his success to be at that range.
He whiffs the flash. Yep, he tried to go for one of the old Paul Scroll classics, but Tanjiro very impressively goes for a big hitbox to dodge all that nonsense. And the wall splatting mid. Finally stopping the bleeding.
Perhaps thinking he was going to opt for the command throw.
Nice 2-3 to start. Ooh. Counter hit on the knee. Run up, Demo Man, and beautiful block from Tanjiro the Ripper. Did not want to deal with the stage hazard as well, leading to a full combo. He's about to get his own right here.
Almost went to the wall. Right. Are we going for the command throw again? Or the wall spot again? No wall spot.
No break on the rainbow drop. Ow. Big damage, and we're still in the same bad position here. 4-4-4. 4-4 again. He engaged. Tries a hop kick. No punish. Oh, nobody's getting their guaranteed while standing 4. Running slash kick. The low parry on the last hit. Hold the phone.
Here we go.
Oh my goodness. He might.
We're still gonna have a little bit of that sweet blue bar once this is finished.
That's if he has enough health. Just a bit. What is your play? Run up forward. Old reliable. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Button of the night. Okay, we're gonna start to mix in that wall standing 1-2 backsway.
Two throw broken. Nice. Manji kicks. Break my own throw. We dodge.
Finally able to evade Yoshi's heat burst for the first time of the bracket.
Ripping his heat really early and getting the throw ducked. Getting to the wall.
We did end up going for the command
down.
throw.
Okay.
This is an issue.
Reversal of
fortune
here.
Off axis.
He tries to chase down the backflip.
Out of range? Oh my.
Oh my God! He's getting.
Get him at the wall.
This is Tanjiro's game right here. This is what he's looking for.
Oh boy.
He's trying to get you to run right at him, and he's banking on him being completely out of range for everything. And nice grab to interrupt the Demo Man. He is sitting on a round away from taking a game, changing the complexity of the set. Not breaking the one grab though. Forward 4 again. I've seen this movie before. He didn't duck this time though on the Demo Man. Is a death fist, and he saves his life for it. Forward 4 is gonna get anti-aired.
With the bad breath.
Toe kick, get away from me.
Okay,
he's got no bar.
That bad breath. It's almost like a fireball.
The hit out there. What is he doing?
Be.
Okay, nice block.
He's able to block it, but no punish.
Oh, and thrown out of the evasive shoulder. One more hit. The low parry. My
Oh,
fault. He knew it.
tries to do
All right,
down for
got a
level
little bit
two
of
on his
health
wake
back.
up, but to nothing.
He is still one interaction away from robbing this, though. Ah, and a good keep out mid from Tanjiro the Reaper. He keeps his hopes alive.
Low standing four. You see, he was starting to use that bad breath almost as a fireball.
He
Or
was
as a JP departure, maybe even where if you walk in, you're dealing with so much risk of getting hit by that it's just worth it to kind of sit and wait for your opportunity to walk in. He started canceling some of those bad breaths into backdashes as well. Very
yeah.
nice counter hit there
This
on the
yeah,
round
it was a
start.
the big change was his distance control. He has been doing all of these evasive options, and Leapfrog's been doing everything he can to try and reach him, but everything is
Yeah, he
out
wants to
of
close
range,
that. He
and
wants to
that is
close that distance.
creating
The
more.
fours have been out of distance.
It's making Leapfrog rethink his approach options, making him freeze up, and
Oh my goodness, he's being neutered. This is insane.
yes. Yep, every option that he wants to go through is just off the mark by like a smidge, and it's because of these, it's because of the defensive
Oh,
movement.
there we go.
Sorry, from Tanjiro here, but one explosive situation is all Leapfrog needs. Doesn't
Oh,
finish.
I think even more
Ducking the
important to
throw.
bring up here is the fact that Tanj is being forced to conjure a whole different layer of gameplay in the midst of the bracket. He's not had time to just sit in
Yo,
the
the
training
no
room
sword
and
sweep
figure
is an
out
instant launcher, and we're gonna
how
get our health back and take a lot of Leapfrogs away.
we don't have the opportunity to step away from the bracket and figure out how to optimize our offense and better mix up our opponents. He's figuring this out on the fly, and it looks like it's
Run
turning
up.
out quite well for him.
Okay.
Except we don't
Okay.
do the run up hop kick in this situation, and we might have a potential second round one, but it looks like this is going to be going to
Yes,
leapfrog.
sir. Was worried about the scaling on all that, but it's still enough damage. Two Death Fists as good as Dunzo for him.
Two
Nice.
death
Another
fists
one
as
of
good as
the
almost a
Paul
full gen
Scrolls.
combo.
Down forward two after core circle forward, core circle back four, and then we're going to keep this wall
Got her.
pressure. No punish.
Trying to mix him up with that down one
These
two.
Death Fists at
Oh, there we
point
go.
blank.
There we
These
go.
These Death Fists at point blank are still somewhat risky to go for. They're minus like 12 or 13 with some pushback, so that's why you don't often see them get punished, but it was possible. Oh my goodness. They're scrapping at the wall. He does
It was
not want any
possible. I
part of this.
think he kind of
That's a
just felt
lot of
comfortable to
health
do
to
so
have
because
in
he knows
Rage.
he's got Tanj in a
No!
compromised position here. Oh my goodness! But there he goes for the unblockable low launcher.
Just
This could
ran at
be
him and
a
did it.
set defining moment to be able to take two games on Mr. Leapfrog to tie it up and make
Oh,
it a match a game for grand finals. But
Leapfrog still
maybe
has
Leapfrog
two.
has something
Oh,
in his back pocket.
he got his
He
input
does.
in on that punish, but it ends up paying off, getting a counter hit launch. There we
The
go,
counter hit on
finally
that back two
punishing.
extension.
And the down 4-2 stealing the frames. You don't have time for all that crouch nonsense. And this could be
Oh
the
my! This is
round.
it. This is it.
But the Death Fist misses.
But he
Oh
drops.
my god! And he's not composed. They're dropping the combo. Oh, in set point for
Oh,
Leapfrog. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. We're in the danger zone here. Back four, nice block. No punish, though. Gets the Manji kicks. Dragonflay stance. Oh, he tries to go for the big haymaker,
but he's
but
able to get the
runs
counter
right
hit.
in. He runs right into the slow low. Gonna get to the wall.
Here you go, and that's the wall carry that you need. It's the wall carry that you need to get
Oh,
the job done. But maybe Mr.
he
Leapfrog
tries to
again
steal
has
his
something he has not been
frames.
showing us. Oh
Tried to
my
steal his
goodness!
frames with a big move, but a bigger move comes out in the heat smash, and Tanjiro is even the set up after a nail-biting penultimate round.
It is now up to either one of these competitors. Whoever takes this next match will be moving on
Running it
to the
right
grand
back.
finals.
Running it right back. Goodness gracious. And round start hop
Oh
kick.
my
Why
goodness. And the
not?
round
But
start hop
dropping
kick.
the
What do you know?
combos. This is
444. Oki.
armor. Sidestep 3. Rubber bands. Good lead so far for Leapfrog, but we've seen one explosive play is all it takes. Gets clipped out of his movement from the heat smash. Get away from that wall. What do you do?
Oh,
No, don't go for all that. Oh my god, he caught
wait.
him
Oh my
looking. He
lord.
caught him looking. He loaded up a crouch and just jumped Shoryuken basically.
Almost pounced at him
Oh
like a cat
my.
there. Just that read being such.
Okay. Still a chance for Leapfrog though. Running slash kick. I don't
Oh.
know what he attempted, but it did not pay off. And now Tanjiro has a lead in the set for the first time.
Oh my goodness. Oh
Oh
my goodness.
no. And the bad
Nobody
breath,
gets
the
hit by the bad
Tanjiro
breath.
special. That's how you know the gameplay has shifted into his favor when he's hitting his signature move right here. The move that has been spelling out success in his night. Oh my god, all
We
the
need
Manji
not
kick
be at the
and the
wall
toe
here for
kick.
Mr. Leapfrog, but how are we going to get
Leapfrog.
ourselves out of this
Okay.
situation? It can start with a low parry. It can
It
start
has
with
started
taking
with the low
him
parry
back to the wall.
to the
Demo
wall.
man, there you go. Going to get that conversion. And now we're just waiting
He
to see what our
spins
opponent's
out
going to
of the
do on the
way.
wake up.
Okay. No
He
duck. He
disagrees
rage
with the
arts.
guard break.
Good rage art from Leapfrog. Great counter option to the helicopter pressure is not real without the frames for it. Still has heat, but watch out! The Death Fist
Ooh.
hits like a truck!
There was
No
no option that you
fear.
could opt
He
for there
wants
to
to
get out of
win.
that. Wants to
But
win
the
this very
counter hit
bad and make a
low.
statement.
We're gonna keep the wall positioning. Goes for the not unbreakable low. Goes for the mid. Oh, and those low kicks track. Does not fall for the string. And Tanjiro on set point. Are we seeing the run back of the Yoshi? No, we're gonna run up and we're gonna get one thrown
Oh,
again.
there we go.
No. Oh,
We got a
good
little
whip punish on
flow.
the toe kick.
Moving him to the wall.
Forward four.
Slowly
Put up
but
heat first.
surely.
I'll
Here we go.
activate. Nice break, but now we're switching wall position. The spacing trap, the heat burst activate. Okay, plus frames. He hard ducked.
Oh no.
Uh-oh,
Oh
here
no.
comes the Oki train.
We still got the
He just
rage.
kicks.
Oh,
He is
he's
don't give a damn about Oki. Shut the hell up. It's final round right here.
to either
Run up,
competitor
hop kicks. No, the backswing blow into Death Fist. So far, so good for Leapfrog.
brings out
Staying
a
out of
deep
range.
cut there.
Down 4-2, no dice.
Oh,
God, who do
there
you
we
want
go.
to approach? No
Oh, no
blocking for
punish.
the punish.
Nobody's out of the
The back
way.
three was so composed. Going for the demo man.
Just
Forward four, no
slipping in and out
dice.
of the mid screen. Tan's gonna
The
be
forward
having
four
some
calls
trouble
out.
here.
And if he converts this correctly, you could be punching your ticket to grand finals. Leapfrog, well done.
That is it for Tanjiro the Ripper. What a run here in the first entry of Tekken at CCA. Mr. Leapfrog gonna be punching his ticket into the grand finals to face up against NA's best kept Yoshi.
Man, oh man. It was looking all said and done for Tanjiro. He was down 2-0. They were and it was a 6-round like drought before he started getting back on the board. And then before you knew it, everything started going his way into the point where he was on set point first. And Leapfrog continued to stay up with all of the explosive plays that we know him for. And the forward four has been between that and Corsical back two has been the move of the night for him. Catching on to the spin attack at the perfect moment. Heat dash combo. Wow.
Absolutely. I mean, Tanj made an absolutely incredible run here. I got to give him tons of credit for what he was able to pull off there in that
Absolutely.
set against Mr. Leapfrog. Totally turning around the narrative from how he looked against Trizzy and the fact that
Hmm.
he was able to make that adjustment when it counted. Mr. Leapfrog was only one match away, like you said. That 6-0 round streak was making it look very bleak in terms of the future of this bracket for Tanj, and he was able to turn that completely around. So I got to give
Hmm.
him plenty of credit for that. But Mr. Leapfrog was not even supposed to be here by his own wording, by his own verbiage. And now we're talking about a storyline where we're, pitting up a Paul player, not just against a Yoshi, but against Trizzy the rapper in grand
Hmm.
finals, the first installment of CCA. I mean, goodness.
I think we put on a pretty solid show for our first and hopefully not last run in with Tekken on CCA. Again, I do want to highlight that Tanjiro definitely fought back very well, and like I think as a Tekken player and like competitor, I often can go, I can walk away from like a tournament performance okay, as long as I play my game at some point. Win or lose, I just want to be
Yeah.
able to play my game, and I think Tanjiro can absolutely say that, and especially that got started in game three of the set when it was looking pretty bad. He was down 2-0. He was able to get his game going, took a pretty solid commanding win, stopped the bleeding, and although Leapfrog did make it hot for a second, he made game four a final round that put him on set point. But then Tanjiro answered back fiercely and kind of demolished him there to even the set count, and then suddenly took the lead for the first time in the entire set. So definitely can walk away proud of like the performance you were able to put on to down 2-0 to bring it back and take a lead in a loser's final set. It's nothing to go home sad about for sure.
No, not at all. And I mean, obviously, you need to be able to play your game at some point within the bracket to be able to make it to a top four anyway, right? You
Yeah,
didn't luck your way all the way to top four. There
not at
was
all.
a clear display of either outplaying or dominance that led you to that position that you were in. And because of that, I mean, obviously you can walk away proud just from that result alone. But I think what's important to highlight here is how he was able to completely turn around the narrative that was written prior to his set with Mr. Leapfrog and how he's seen Trizzy so kind of effortlessly just seem to dish away his opponent. And
Exactly.
that wasn't obviously a good look for him in terms
Mm-mm.
of it being a mirror and how he's showed his offensive prowess over his opponents leading up to that mirror match. But then he comes down here to losers finals and almost makes it past Mr. Leapfrog to go for the run back in grand finals. But either way, it was a solid run. It was a very solid run there by Tanjiro the
Yeah,
Ripper.
that's a good point. Like he came back from a 3-0 beat down into going down 2-0 immediately in losers finals the very next set. That is 5 games straight before you had a chance to showcase anything that you're made of. So definitely that puts even more, shine on the performance there because it could have easily just been a sad night to go out on going down 6-0 when you made top three guaranteed. So I'm very happy to see that he was able to bounce back and you know showcase that he deserved to be there through his play, and was just a couple round interactions away from running it back and trying to rechange what the future that was set versus him and Trizzy earlier before. But Leapfrog, he had a change in the fates, change in the cards. He saw something different. Uh, at least through his play, not through his words before the tournament started. And he's sitting there, loser side grand finals. Does he have what it takes to take two on Trizzy? We'll just have to see. He's already pretty warmed up in the Yoshi matchup so far, so who knows?
He got plenty of Yoshi reps just now in that set, and he's about to get plenty more playing against Trizzy the Rapper here in grand finals. I mean, imagine going home 9-0, right?
Hmm.
It's important to emphasize how he turned that around, because this could have easily been a matter of having all that work leading up to the top four totally diminished and thrown away because of how you went out in that losers final set. But
Hmm.
he definitely made it a fight. It was a dog fight. It's a good thing he didn't go home 9-0, right?
Right.
But Mr. Leapfrog is going to be moving on into the grand finals regardless. So more Yoshi to display. We're
Hmm.
not done with Yoshi yet.
Oh man. Yeah, we may be in for a bit of a wait um for Trizzy as a quick look at some of the other Tekken brackets going on. I believe he is in the middle of a grand finals right now, and he is on the
Oh, he's
he
into the
is
three
on
other brackets, if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken.
yeah, and he's in
Oh boy.
grand finals. He might end up in grand finals in every single one, bro, by the end of the day. So the super grinder himself. Uh, don't know how. Like, trust me, man. I love this game. I can watch it and talk about it till the fat lady sings and whatnot. But my stamina for playing definitely not of the same caliber that these guys are made of, man. So gotta give props to them.
Incredibly different energy when you're talking about these competitive players that are traveling the world, traveling the country to play Tekken at such a proficient level consistently as well. I think, which is the more important thing to highlight. Of course, you can get to a point where you're efficient at any skill level, and at least at the highest skill level that any given player can reach. But to be able to maintain that skill level is a whole another thing against players who are not only the same caliber as you, but enforcing those mind games and really testing your skillful prowess. And in so many of these settings with the weekly tournaments, the invitationals, and you know the tournaments you're traveling to,
Hmm.
takes quite a toll.
It can, it can. There's a lot of brain power expanded upon when playing this game. Fighting games in general are hard, and Tekken in general is even harder. And add in all this heat mechanics and complex 3D movement to the mix, and you're burning a lot of calories in your frontal lobe. Let's just call it that. Uh, and even
Absolutely.
more, it takes an even more special brain to be playing Yoshi, as we've seen. It's not something that just anybody can make work, and not nearly to the consistent effectiveness that Trizzy is able to implement.
Yeah, which is also especially important to mention too, because as quote unquote brain dead as we want to make these characters sound. Which I mean, Yoshi, yeah, I am not gonna sit here and lie. That's a pretty fair argument to call that character, label him with such a term. But then again, it's almost like playing Marvel, right? To play at a level of Jay Wong's skill on Marvel 2 or Sanford Kelly, you've got to
Mhm.
be some kind of skilled at the lame ability of a game that allows you to completely walk over your opponent. Not everybody's able to just boot up Marvel 2 and lame the hell out of their opponent for an entire round
Oh
straight.
yeah. Well, and
So
in
that's
Injustice,
just something
and
that
in
needs to
Justin
be
Wong's
noted.
case, it's because he likes that shit. It's because he likes doing that. That's what he lives for.
Loves it. Loves it.
Yep. And speaking of love, yeah, I
Small
was
couple
about to
minutes.
say,
Okay.
speaking of love, I know you've been loving this action for Tekken. Seeing how we're gonna have to take a bit for Trizzy, we might as well all take a quick five. So don't go anywhere. CCA will be right back.
Okay. Our apologies for the wait. Even though it has been brought to our attention that Trizzy the Rapper is a bit too busy playing Tekken to play Tekken. So he's been DQ'd from CCA Tekken 1, and that leaves, you already know who it is, as your winner for CCA #1. Yeah, Tom just pissed as fuck, bro. This sucks.
Hey, it's like that sometimes, in the online tournament era. There's so many tournaments to get to, there's so many tournaments to play in, and you kind of hedge your bets not knowing how one run's going to go, and the other one, one run could have you make top 8 winners, the other one you could get washed like 1 and 2 in pools. uh, but them's the breaks. The logistics of these things does not support one player kind of being in multiple grand finals at once. It's not fair to the other competitors time.
Of course.
And so, if you're able to make it work, just because you're that nasty at the game, and you're able to navigate it in a timely manner between both tournaments. It's Let's just say it doesn't always work out that way, and this is another one of those, unfortunately. So best of luck to him in the tournament he's currently in. But we're gonna have to call it here for us. So congratulations to Leapfrog for his incredible run. That'll put Trizzy in second, and then Tanjiro in third place.
And the lesson learned,
So
not able to, go ahead and wipe everybody in those brackets, then you need to manage your time wisely. So, congratulations to Leapfrog and all the competitors who took place in CCA first installment of Tekken 8. It's been a pleasure,
I def-
Sensei, and the team here.
Yeah, GG's everybody. Thanks again to CCA and Leapfrog for having me and Shifu on. Thank you for Tropics Gaming for the sponsorship. Make sure you guys hit the link in the chat, using code CCA for free shipping on PS4, PS5, and Xbox controllers. Um, yeah, let's run it back, and hopefully we'll spread word of this good event, and we'll get more people and kind of diversify the player pool a bit, huh? We'll see if somebody will knock Trizzy out and make him focus on this one, huh?
Yeah, that'll be nice. That'll be great. But for this first installment, that's gonna be all.
Peace, guys. Thanks for rocking with us.